You just losing.
Oh no.
Spend some time with the dead.
On demand almost. We'd be like, hey, can you like touch the duck or make it go off? And it would just start lighting up and going crazy.
Why should we be afraid of you?
Hello and welcome to. My name is Riley Clark. Alongside me, as always, is Trevor Johnson. And this is what goes bump tonight, of course. And today we have our very special guests, POV Paranormal, broadcasting live from your Poasttown Elementary, correct?
Yes. That's right.
Fantastic.
All right, so why don't we just get introductions out of the way? Who is who, and who is we speaking to from the group? I love that though. You gotta rep the merch. You have
Right.
to.
So I'm Ernie, one of the lead investigators. Well, there's only 4 of us, so yeah, one of the investigators.
I'm Jaime. I'm his wife. I'm Denise.
I'm Steve.
How long have you guys been with Poasttown?
We've been here since 2019, the home team.
Okay.
So 4 years. Our anniversary is coming up December 9th.
Wow,
Wow,
it's actually
so-
super close to the What Goes Bump anniversary.
Yeah,
actually.
but starting everything,
Yeah, that's wild.
blowing the top off of the roof of what we
We'll just have
would
one
call a party.
Poasttown.
Oh yeah,
That's coming up though. That's coming up though,
Soon.
for real, for real.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure is. Trevor's going to be joining us for the event.
Sweet.
yeah, we're coming down. I can't wait.
They'll be down Friday night.
Sweet.
Cool.
Yeah, so like what is so special about Poasttown? Since you guys are the residents there, you know, you guys have a ton of experience there. Like what's all the history and like what do you think the driving force for all the activity there is?
Oh, that's 2 separate questions.
Yeah, it's very loaded, sorry.
There's a lot of tragedy that surrounds the land and the area around here. Why is this area haunted? Let me answer that first. My theory, I have my own theory. There is a set of railroad tracks that runs behind the school. There has been several train accidents that have occurred right close to this area, but you also have the energy produced by the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
And then in front of the school, you have a major river, one of the major rivers in Ohio, actually, the Miami River. So you have that energy source. And then on the other side, you have a rock quarry where a lot of Native American artifacts have been found. So you have this triangle right here that just is like creates like this energy center.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then with the history and the tragedies that have actually happened in the school as well. It's just a beacon. Anybody want to?
Yeah.
Nope.
I'm a big proprietor of like water being like a
Yeah.
very strong energy source. And like what do like spirits need, if you ask me, or what are they? It's like, well, I would have to probably put my money on that energy. And if energy is transient, well, what's the best conductor of it? Probably water, which the whole earth is covered in it. So like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me that you would be having a lot of more activity around a big water source like the Miami River, especially.
Definitely.
And this side of Middletown was all like Native American land.
That's
So
a lot like our hometown too.
Yeah,
Like
that's-
the west side of Michigan over here is very, very, very like rich and steep in Native American lore and whatnot. And there's been quite a few accounts that we've been able to like encounter where we'll go to Indian burial grounds, whatnot, or Native American burial grounds, and it's like, wow, this is super interesting that we're getting these type of responses and whatnot. Are you guys having stuff happen? Please. let me know.
Yeah, we're just-
Spirits
it's
here
like-
with us.
it's like, what
They're
is
here.
going on?
So weird thing that happened just before you guys joined us. So we have like all of the lights in the hallway, so that the green screen like stays lit. And I'd noticed the screen went fuzzy and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And I looked behind me and all of the lights in the hallway were
just
off
off.
here. And I had turned all of those on purpose. There was no reason for either of us.
We
get up and-
never turn the lights off
Yeah.
after we turn them on for the podcast because we're like chickens with our head cut off trying to get this shit ready usually. So it's like,
So-
all right, it's done, leave it.
So that was really strange, and like we kind of had like a weird connection with Poasttown Elementary before we even
Yeah.
booked you guys and everything, with like the Asher Walton house and the Poasttown doll that's there. So it's just like this weird. I don't know if it was
It's like the
connected to all this,
circle of
but, like,
life.
So what's funny about what you guys saying about the lights going on and off? No matter where we're at, if I walk under lights or if I'm around a light, that's
Yeah.
what it's on and off, on and off, all the time. Every location we go to.
Really? That's the first time
That's
I've ever
really strange
experienced
then,
that.
because that never happens to us ever.
Ever.
And then if that's something that happens to you, like, you know, we're connected now through the
I do
internet.
think, yeah, I think that
So,
people
like-
are portals, and internet itself is literally a gateway of
And this was
energy. So
moments after we got off the phone with you too.
yeah, not even like 2
Oh,
minutes
wow.
after that. Yeah, it's like
so it's
crazy.
just like, you know, lining things. Paranormal is like all about lining connections. So it's like,
Right, right.
and my ass is like laying on the floor stretching because I was like, we're in for the long haul tonight, guys. I'm ready. He was like, dude, you turn that light off? And I was like, what? Like, no, I've been in here the whole time.
So that's really weird now that that's something that happens to you all the time. Because wow.
What would you say like a lot of the activity that happens there in the elementary is?
Oh man.
There's a variety.
There's a variety. I would say, I don't know, 20-30% of it is residual,
Yeah.
but there is a hell of a lot of like
noises, the
You
shadows,
know,
the
intelligent, you know,
I love that.
interact.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you can ask questions about like the train wreck, or you know, if you went to school here or being a teacher here, and you get direct responses. And I mean, that's not
So
visual.
incredible. Yeah, that's where I'm like, you have to be like cognizant of the fact that there has to be different forms of these spirits residing here. Like where it's either maybe there's an intelligent spirit that's transient and he comes and goes as he pleases, where it's like, all right, I've had enough of this, I'm gonna go check something else out. Or you have the echoes of the past where it's like if you go to Gettysburg, you're probably gonna hear the cannon fodder and like the battle cries and stuff. And it's like,
Right.
all right, well, that's probably more of like literally an echo that's just bleeding into our time. And it's like that is also a form of paranormal.
Mhm.
So it's like I think there's levels to it for sure.
absolutely.
Right.
And one thing that we've ran into here recently is this malevolent entity, Johnny,
Oh
We-
boy.
up here at Poasttown about
Mhm.
I'd say a year and a half ago now. And every location we go to, guys, he's either on our portal box, coming across our Ovulus, or coming across the spirit box, and it's the same tone, the same way it comes out, and it's like
Yeah.
Johnny every
What the
single time.
hell?
What?
That's creepy.
Oh my
And we've
God.
even tried to, like, we had a team here one night, and we were at Bill Manor, and we were trying to get him to see if he could get that name here.
Yeah.
Well, we got it in a totally different location the same night he was here.
That's interesting as hell. So like you guys probably do believe in like attachments and things like that.
Oh,
where it's like
Yeah.
yeah, because we think we have like somewhat of an attachment that might like be more transient, or it might just be a malevolent spirit that like roams around the areas that we've frequented quite a bit now on our paranormal journeys around our hometown and whatnot. But it's like, how do you explain that away? You know, where you go from one location to another and you get the same exact tone, the same voice, the same mannerism and whatnot in that. Like, I don't know how I can't say that isn't following me. You know, it's not just
Right.
coincidence.
Right.
And you're talking like, you know, we went to Indiana State Sanitarium, Pine Lawn Manor, and then we go to Penhurst, Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, Mansfield, and we get the same name every location.
And
He's
those
on
are
that-
fucking huge, crazy places too. And it's like that's not very like I wouldn't say that's
Hey,
normal to get
let me ask
usually
this.
either.
Have you figured out who the spirit was in like real life, or
We, I think we have a good idea
Oh
of,
shit.
of what this, we
He was never human.
feel he
don't
was
think he was
never
human.
human.
oh,
So we feel
I think that's very
someone
possible for sure.
someone invited this elemental into the
Yep.
school one night when they were here.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
that's
Does the
that's
school
our
have
theory, Johnny.
like an occult like past? I don't know much about the
Yeah,
school,
like
to be
like
honest.
in like your guys' like hometown of Ohio, was there ever like, you know, like old stories of like occult lore or like, you know, like witch trials and things like that that happened there?
Not in town. We just know like all the Native American land that the Poasttown sits on. I mean
Yeah.
the mascot for the town we're in is a Mohawk.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, it's pretty steep, like deep into like the actual like town too then. And I mean,
Yeah.
think about it, bad medicine. Like what are primordial beings, elementals, and like who's to say that we know what they do or what they like are their
What their purpose
intentions or
is?
purpose are. Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Right.
Interesting.
It's like people can be monsters themselves. So like I really wouldn't put it past that we don't have all of the knowledge or all of the doors open to be able to get the information that like is the answers that we're probably looking for in this.
Yeah, let me throw this theory by you. So a lot of people like when they see skinwalkers and stuff, like they see like an animal or whatever, you know, and it looks all terrifying. And I have this like theory that a lot of times when we're seeing these like odd creatures and stuff, we're actually seeing potentially a Native American in like battle garb. So like, you
Right.
know,
Right.
he's wearing like the
demons.
head, he's wearing the head of a wolf or a coyote, and like this the skin's draped down him, so it looks like his skin's like melting, and like he's got, you know, something in his hand, so it might make his arms look different.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
put a lot of stock into like Native American like lores.
Yeah.
Like what would I believe more is, you know, like the cryptic stuff. I do believe in a lot of it. Some of it I do think probably is just a lot of hearsay. But like Native Americans were huge into their culture, into like being very, very driven with that culture that they were grown into. Now you're telling me over time that got so diluted that now we have these crazy stories of like Wendigos and skinwalkers, and that stuff doesn't have any type of like relevant, like what do you call it, like relevance. Yeah, thank you. I can't talk tonight.
Words are hard, people.
Words are fucking hard.
Merch
It's like
coming soon.
I don't know, like, and it keeps to be like it bees a recurring theme in a lot of the places that we've been. So like I said, I think I might be having a stroke. I don't know.
but yeah, and then we had one like real bad tragedy. A little girl fell down the stairwell here at Poasttown,
Ooh.
3 flights of stairs.
Oh shit, yeah, that's
Yeah.
terrible.
Damn.
And what got me into the paranormal, guys, is 11 years old. I seen a full blown apparition in my grandmother's house.
No shit.
But December 11th of 2021, I seen what I thought was Sarah standing in her stairwell.
Wow. So you've seen
I
this little
have-
girl.
Like I have no abilities. I have, I just carry equipment and ask questions. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's getting struck by lightning, you know, you're just in the right place at the right time for some of these events. And then it's like, well, shit, now what? Like, I'm forever like completely stuck on this.
Yeah, for 2 weeks, like I even asked Jamie, like, she's a psychic medium. Why did she show herself to me and not someone that could communicate? You know what I mean? It was me, of all people. And like I cried like a baby when I seen her, guys. I have 2 daughters, and I felt that sadness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it tore me up.
Yeah. Like we literally have an episode of true crime that we haven't released yet that we've been sitting on for probably like almost 6 months now, that like, cause I'm a dad myself, but like even Riley being an like non-blood uncle is like, this is heavy, dude, because it involves child harm, and it's like, wow.
We actually were both like almost crying. At the
Yeah,
end of
like
the
it was like,
story,
I don't know if I want to release this just because of how absolutely brutal it was. And it's like, that's just real monsters in real life. And who's to say that once you pass on that you can't just, well, I lost my like complete, what do you call it, regard for any type of like conscience that I had. And like now I can do whatever I want. And it's like, I want to be malevolent. Whatever, I can do that. Cause like I don't know. Cause I always have this theory too. Like when we pass on, it's either you're gonna get like, bam, you get all the knowledge to everything, and you can go and come wherever you want, and it's like nothing is limited. Like everything is free to game. Or like the other prevailing theory is you get anchored to places that you you frequented a lot, or like the stone tape theory. And then if that's what's relevant, well, if you lived a shitty life and you were an asshole and like you hated everything, if those people that are showing up to these places are there, who's to say that you're not just gonna fuck with them because like why not? I'm here.
Yeah.
Like this is all I can do.
The hard part about all of that is like, why do little children spirits get trapped in places? Like, why does this happen? Like, if there's any soul that deserves to move on, it's a
Yeah,
child.
I would say
Like,
so. That's pure and innocent right there.
like they didn't even know what was happening. They're probably so confused at the events that transpired, whether it was sometimes violent, which is terrible, or an accident like what happened to Sarah at the school. I would imagine, like, it would be so confusing to them because they can't like comprehend that like an adult could. Like, there's just no way.
And that's kind of where we're at. Like, why the children's spirits here? Because we hear laughing all the time. Not just one laugh. I'm talking like a group of kids laughing. Then we actually have PP.
Was there just a voice
Or a chirp.
or a
It
chirp or
was
something?
Steve. He's turned.
Okay, cool.
We were literally talking about little kids' voices, and I thought it sounded like a little kid. I was like, "Yo, if you guys didn't hear that, like."
And then what's funny? I mean, it's kind of ironic, Riley. It is your birthday. We have a EVP of the last sentence of "Happy Birthday" that was singing, and they were like, "Happy Birthday to," and it cut out.
What the
Whoa.
hell?
And it was a group of
Crazy.
kids. It wasn't one. It was like a group of kids singing
Yeah, like a
"Happy
whole classroom.
Yeah, and we caught it in the cafeteria.
Oh man. See, that's even more crazy because where else would you probably
Yeah,
give the
Tic
kids
Tok.
cake? That's so cool.
That's so cool. It's
Yeah.
also sad.
It is also sad.
Yeah.
You're right. But I also wonder too, like, there is another theory of like time slips where it's like
Maybe
maybe
just like a super high moment.
yeah,
that
and
cafeteria, and it
it's
just
maybe
got,
it's
like,
not
trapped.
like their spirit per se, but like it is a paranormal event where it's like if dimensions and things like we can't comprehend yet because we haven't figured that out. What if like all dimensions are always everywhere at once, and like maybe it's just like it overlapped at that exact moment, and then you heard that blip.
Yeah.
Because it would make exact sense to be in that cafeteria and to hear that. Maybe not the timing exactly, because it was probably late at night when you guys caught it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's like you would think that the activity would be during when it happened, like during the day.
Right. There's a couple theories that I have regarding why spirit or places. One, spirit can travel and come and go wherever they want, whenever they want. But there's also, like Sarah, for example, if something traumatic like that, and like Riley was saying, you're so confused and so traumatized,
Thank you, mode chick.
you keep going back to that place,
Yeah.
figure out what happened, and sometimes they don't even realize that they are deceased
Right.
Yeah,
I think it's part of being comfortable
and
with the
comfortable.
surroundings.
Yeah.
They know it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing too, is like I'm very comfortable in my routine. And that what are humans? They're habit forming. Like we live in the same habits once we develop them. Like that's just what it is.
I
to
just
be a
hope I don't
human.
haunt my work when I die.
Yeah,
Like,
fuck
come
that.
on.
I feel like I've lived enough like cool things where it's like, hey, I have a good like variety to choose from. So like
Unless you're going back to torment somebody.
yeah, then I mean, So, Jamie, what would you say got you into the paranormal?
Oh yeah. Wow. That's a.
I didn't have a choice.
We got-
right?
Spirit said, hey.
I really didn't
I'd say
have,
being a
Valid.
medium, I have to know, like, was this like something that you knew from a very young age, or was it just like you just kind of like developed it over time?
from a young age, I would see people in my house. I would hear things, people talk to me whispering, people standing around my bed at night when I was trying to sleep, trying to
That's
whisper.
terrifying.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So can I give you guys an example of what kind of made us like, oh yeah, she is legit? Because you got these guys that say, oh yeah, well I learned how to be a medium. To me, this is my.
Deductive reasoning is a thing. Like
And
that's my biggest thing.
Yeah, a lot of us feel like that's a gift. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we had this residential case. I have never met this lady before in my life.
I'm trying to
Talked to her on the phone.
get where Steve can
Yeah.
Just kind of got details going with her, right?
Mm.
So before we go to these residential cases, Jamie, she'll meditate for about a half hour and kind of try to, hone in on where we're going. Well, this lady's house we went to, we go in and we go to the basement. They're not feeling anything. So we send the girls down there. We're upstairs. A different investigator of ours, Brian Hensley.
Yeah.
So we go upstairs and we tell the lady, we're like, hey, something tragic happened and Jamie picked up on it. Somebody in here had a real bad accident. I don't even want to say accident. A real bad tragedy when they were younger.
Yeah.
And Brian said, well, I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off. And the lady that owned the house, I don't want to really say her name. He said, but I'll just call her D. You, D, were molested at a young age by your uncle.
Oh, no.
And the granddaughter said, oh, no, that never happened. And the grandmother, D, was like, yeah, that absolutely happened. And I have not told about 65 years that happened.
Wow.
And it was her uncle that done it. So, I mean, she got exactly who it was.
That's crazy. To pick up on that.
So that was kind of like, and we've been together for 20 years, and she's always like freaked me out with this stuff. And and it was just like.
And when he hears me in the kitchen having conversations with someone who's not there.
I really get freaked out.
Well, we were on vacation.
Yeah.
Just this last time, and Spirit decided to come and make itself known to you, messing with the lights. And Jamie's holding a conversation with Spirit.
Oh my goodness.
No break.
I'm never alone. I'm never alone.
Can you tune it out, or is it always on? Is there like a switch you can flip in there?
I can, but sometimes. Can I say about your? Like one time, Steve's grandfather.
And you got to let them know about how Steve is.
He's a skeptic. Steve doesn't believe.
I'm getting better.
I think he thinks I'm crazy, but
no.
Sometimes they're very persistent, and no matter how I try to turn it off, they are not going to leave me alone. And his grandfather was persistent and wouldn't let me sleep. I didn't sleep for like 3 days. It was wild. His grandfather and his dog, to be specific, and they were like jumping on my bed. And I was like,
I have a message.
Yes, exactly. And finally I was like, I have to sleep or I'm really going to lose my mind. And I was like, I have to figure out what's going on. And I pinpointed it to him, and I went to him and I was like, that, this. And he was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I didn't tell you about that. I don't remember saying anything.
And then he was gone. So
yeah, see, there's stories like that now we've in the past 4 lives that we've done, we've talked to 2 people that have had very similar accounts of being able to pinpoint things that there's no reason they should be able to know. And it's it's adding that relevance to me, where it's like maybe there is a different frequency that some people resonate on that just allows them to be able to tune into that stuff, because it's got to be there. I don't believe that it's not.
I think we all have the ability to
can open up to it, though. You got to allow it in, and if you
you can't be completely closed off. Like if you're tuning radio stations and you're like, oh, I don't like gospel, crank that right out.
Right. And I tell people when they're like, oh, I just have this gut feeling something, I'm like, that's it. But most people don't pay attention to it. Right. You have to, and you'll learn eventually that you start paying closer and closer attention to things, and then you might start hearing voices in your head.
It's wild how often, if you just follow your instinct, how much more right you will be.
Yes.
I actually started believing in myself more, and it's like, oh shoot,
I creeped myself right out at the
weird.
poorhouse doing that.
Yeah,
we
that's
split off into different parts of the building, and I went into this room by myself, and I instantly just had this feeling I was not alone. And I said, if you're here like I think you are, make a noise. And a floorboard crept, the same floorboard I was standing on. And I said, I'm not one to run away, but I was just like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I don't really
I'm
want to talk to you right
completely
now.
alone right now.
I
in a
need a
place
moment.
I have no idea where I am. In a room, like
I
48
couldn't
rooms.
see anything. I was just like, yeah, no, there's definitely someone in here, and I'm not actually ready to talk to you right
And like
now.
the fun part about the poorhouse was like it's a huge museum exhibit, so there's tons of stuff in there. But they're recently going back into renovating because they had a huge storm that completely took out almost half a wing of the building. And it's like,
that's where I was too.
yeah, and like
surprisingly,
when you have to turn around and go through there, you got to navigate, and it's dark, and there's a lot of stuff, and it's all expensive, breakable, old stuff.
Mm.
So it's like, yo, if I'm like really spooked and like
Yeah, it's
fight or
literally
flight kicks in,
artifacts.
this might turn into a real bad situation.
Really expensive
We
night.
call those oh shit moments.
Right.
Oh yeah, yep. I call it the pucker
That's
factor,
definitely-
just like ratcheting up.
Yep.
It's
Steve
definitely-
actually had an oh shit moment here at Poasttown just about 2 months ago that kind of opened him up. We'll let him tell you about it.
So we were here at 4 or 5 o'clock cleaning up upstairs, and we were walking from one classroom to the other.
Mean teacher hallway.
Mean teacher hallway, but we were walking from one classroom to the other. And I had a big 55-gallon trash can with me. And as I walked out of the room into the hallway, this 3'8", white and gray cloud just ran right through me.
What the
I
fuck?
dropped the trash can and went, holy F.
Holy fuck is what he said.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely something I could not explain. I'm one of those guys that, something happens, I'm looking for the reason why it
We're
happened.
debunking
Yeah,
crap.
we're the same
We
way.
debunk more than we, sometimes more than we investigate, because we
Because
don't want to
Steve-
put anything out there that we can't, if we can't explain it, then we'll put it out there. Prior to that, though.
That's exactly what we say. The last few videos that we've worked on, we both looked at each other and been like, I see that, but I'm gonna let the community be the fucking the deciding
we've
factor
been doing
there.
that a lot more. Like instead of saying we'll present the evidence, but we won't say anything further.
Yeah,
than
like we
that.
might notice it, but if me, like exactly how you said, if we aren't completely convinced that that's unexplainable, then I don't want to just point it out and then be like, I'm a fluke.
Yeah.
Right.
Our best example is at the Asher Walton house. We caught our door moving, and we had seen the shadow, but we didn't point it out in the video.
Yeah, it's like a bump reaches out
And-
behind the door and like kind of grabs like the door frame
and
itself.
it's moving opposite from all the other shadows.
So
in the
if it
frame.
was the handle, you would think that it would show up after the door swung out, but it wasn't. It was before it even moves. You see the shadow
Yeah.
bump. So it's like, okay, we see that, but like the fuck, like I don't know if I can
And-
clearly say that that's paranormal.
and
Right.
we didn't point it out. We just pointed out the door moving, and Snap React did a review on our video, and
Yep.
he actually was like, he didn't even see the door move. That's
he
the
said,
crazy
"Do you
part.
see the hand?"
He thought we were pointing at the hand. So,
So it's
seen the
nice
door
to get
move,
the
and-
validation from the community too,
Yeah.
because it's like, like if because like personally, everybody's perspective is different. Like, like what we think is paranormal might not look same to you guys, so it's like it's
Right.
nice to see other people point out things that you did see.
And even at that, until you're the person there experiencing it, there's
Right.
always going to be doubt in that person. Always.
100%.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, personal experience is seriously like so much different than seeing it on a video. Because I mean, it's nice to be able to show the evidence and like present it
Right.
in this format, but to live that moment and feel the energy like change, or walk into a room and you feel like the heavy, like it's
Yeah.
how I always like to say, where it's like like Riley always says, it's walking into electric cobwebs.
That's
Where
what-
it's like it's weird, like like it's one of those things where your senses are also heightened at that point. It's not just like you see it or you hear it. It's like everything.
Most definitely.
Yeah, that's kind of like we use the same theory, especially for like our public events. We don't try to put evidence out there. We tell people this is for your personal experience here. And these guys coming in, they have no idea about paranormal, and they're like, "We just walked into a cobweb." No, it's not cobwebs.
Like check the
people
whole
in front of
frame,
you.
like I walked through there before you and I didn't
Right.
feel that.
But-
We always like to do the rule of threes too. So like if we have one piece of our equipment going off, it's cool. 2, it's more interesting. And then when 3 things are happening at once, it's like, all right, this is definitive evidence. And we've had investigations where we've went with skeptics, like complete skeptics, where like there's nothing to this. Like all the TV shows, all the YouTube, it's all bullshit. Everybody just wants clicks and views. Well, then, we take like a rubber duck we buy from one of our big mega stores around here.
Meyer, you might even have
You
them down
you
there.
guys might have Myers down there.
Oh yeah, we
But
do.
yeah,
I
and
thought
they
so.
in the checkout lanes they have those ducks that if you click them they'll like start lighting up, and it's literally like a bat toy. Well, we're like, fuck it, let's bring it on an investigation with us. We set it in the middle of 20 people at Eloise's, like it's the Eloise Hospital and Insane
Yeah,
Asylum.
we heard a lot
whatever
about
called.
it. We were wanting to
Yeah,
check that.
and we were on like the
It's
fourth
awesome.
floor, the dementia floor, and we were just like, if anybody's here with us, and we put a duck out here in the middle of everyone, like, can you just like touch it and make it go off? No shit, for 45 minutes on command, that thing was going off, like without anybody around it. And it's like, yeah, it's that type of moment that you strive for,
was
and
like-
you show a skeptic. It's like, woo.
So like group investigations, you divide. If it's a big group, you divide everyone up into like 4 quarters or whatever, and each group, is assigned like a floor. It did this duck thing for our entire turn
On that floor.
On that floor.
And even the like and lead investigator that was leading, was like in awe too. Like all of us were just like shook. We were like, how? Like it's literally the middle of like, fuck, what was it, February in Michigan, which
In a
is
building with no electricity or anything.
cold. And it was actually like -5 that day too. So, and it was like not even wind chill, and the wind was whipping through there, so it was burr. And it's like, I don't think electronics should do this, even with it, like being cold in here. Especially,
I don't
it's
think
like,
it was
you have to click it.
malfunctioning. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
And
I don't.
something that anybody can go out to a store and buy.
Yeah, and it was
That's it,
literally
yeah.
just something random, and we were like, what?
literally $2.
What do we want to bring as like a trigger object? And it was literally just a funny thing, because it's like, it's a duck. Nobody uses ducks. Let's use a duck.
Right.
So how many investigations would you guys say that you've been on, in your paranormal career? Like quite a few, probably.
I would say
Over 50.
over 50.
I love that. So what's the farthest you guys have gone to do an investigation?
Crescent Sanitarium, I
Yeah.
believe.
No, I think
Ooh.
one.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one to go do too.
We did Crescent. We were on a 48-hour lockdown at Crescent.
Oh, 48 hours.
I'm
That's
so
Dude,
something I
fucking
wanna-
jealous.
Oh,
That's
I
the
wanna
one
do one of those.
is tops on our list.
absolutely.
Jamie wasn't able to go to. Is myself, Steve, Denise, and Barry
Right.
from Unfortunate Travels. He's up there close to you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
We worked a lot with Barry. We were there for 48 hours. The first day, we felt like urban explorers. Dude, there was
Exactly. That place is huge.
Mhm.
23 buildings on 26 acres.
Jesus God, yeah.
And it was
like, did they give you full access to like everything in all the
Every
buildings too?
thing, every
That's
building.
so awesome.
There was one building that we couldn't get into.
Did they condemn it?
No, must have.
I don't even know. I mean, there was so much activity.
I don't even know if you could do all of the buildings in one night,
I don't even know if we can do them all in 2
Yeah,
nights. Jeez.
we hit a majority of them in the 2 nights we were there, but we want to go back real bad.
Yeah, we always say too, it's like, it sucks that like a lot of these cool locations, you only get very limited amounts of windows to be able to do this. And like the real stuff that happens, you kind of have to spend a lot of time there to be able to catch, like those like unicorns, if you want to call them that.
Right.
Yeah, because that place right there now, it's going through some kind of
Legal.
battle, and
Yeah.
it just sucks if they lose it,
I
because they're
thought
going to
they did.
they're going to tear it down.
I thought they lost it.
I think they lost it.
That fucking sucks.
That's
It's just,
sad.
there's a lot of places like that too, like Joliet Prison, after like a lot of the big publicity they had with and the whole demon snafu, where it's like they might pull the plug on it, and it sucks to see these historic locations like fall just because it's like a domino effect, where it's like maybe a little bit of bad press, or people start not believing in the cause anymore, or like a weird legal issue where it's like these people don't have any stake in it, that are like being the deciding factor, that are like, all right, rip it down, I don't care, like it's not my building, like it has no meaning to me. But to me and you, it's like this place is literally like living still, like come on.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Like Eastern State Penitentiary. They won't let you do an overnight investigation, but they'll do what they call haunted tours.
Yeah, and it's like, why are we getting selected
I want to go
now?
there so bad.
Yeah, and
I
you
don't
can't
get that.
You
can't do an
can't.
overnight investigation. She said it's not what they're wanting to do moving forward, but they'll do paranormal tours.
That's because a lot of the bigger places that became real famous are now all about the money.
Yeah.
Because that video that Taps caught in the early days of Ghost Hunters,
Iconic.
iconic
Yeah,
from
it's
Eastern
legendary.
Country.
Yeah.
Like that video is like the
That's
most.
one of the big ones that I got in. Like, why I got into it is
It's like-
watching Taps.
Yeah. Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
that video like lives in my brain because it was so phenomenal.
Yep, that's rent free.
I'm not charging for that one.
What would you say your favorite device to use on an investigation is?
Go
It
ahead.
could be anything. We've had a lot of different answers.
Yeah,
over the-
people have even used like their own like personal like like my body. Like I want to go in there and
so-
just feel the place.
What's
Which
your
I love that.
favorite tool?
honestly.
Well, I'll give you two of mine, and then I love the tripwire.
We'll pass the torch around.
tripwire. That's
So hard to set
that's a new
off.
one.
And each
We
one
need
of
to get one.
each one of those sensors work individually.
Oh yeah, we know that for a fact.
And then, like, we got this new, and it's the REM portal. That thing is so hard to set off. We've had it on 5 investigations. It's went off one time.
Our REM pod has never went off, but the temperature gauge has gone off and the milligauss
Right.
readings have gone off.
Yeah.
So we know it works. It's just the REM pod is not yet to go off.
Right.
It takes a lot of energy.
I'm
to
pretty
make
sure
you
I
do
just
that,
watched
man.
one of your guys' TikToks of the tripwire going off, and it was fucking crazy.
Dude, and we just got back from the Beal house, and I held
Yep.
it. I was holding it in my hand, and I told him, I said, I feel my hand tingling. And as soon as I did, I felt that it went all the way down the tripwire.
That's so crazy.
I wanted to drop it, dude. I felt it before it went off. It was nuts.
Yep, that's a pucker moment. That for sure is a
Oh,
pucker
yeah.
moment.
I was just like, holy shit, did you guys see that?
I
Yeah,
love those
mine-
genuine reactions too.
Mine by far is the SLS and the tripwire.
yeah,
I've had many experience with the tripwire myself, and tripwire is my favorite, and the SLS.
How many times has the SLS worked for you guys? Because I know like some people like to say that it maps weird things that shouldn't be there, and like not like
I'm a big-time
paranormal
believer
stuff.
on it.
But yeah, but like, are you guys big proprietors of it? Where it's like it's like completely legitimate. Like I don't know how to
Yeah,
explain.
we'll call
this
out
thing.
we'll call out a false mapping if I know
Mhm.
mapping, like
Yeah.
if there's a
chair.
I don't know, a chair there and it's mapping the
Yeah.
chair, call it out. But if you got an entity above, a table and there's nothing behind it, how can you explain?
Yeah.
Right. If
Agreed.
it's just like a clean wall, like how is the lasers mapping that wrong?
I'm
Like,
so
that
fucking
makes no
jealous
sense.
you guys have an SLS camera though. That's so cool.
I mean, we've got, you name it, we've got it.
Did you guys build it or did you guys like
No,
find somebody that had it?
From ghostequipment.com.
Oh, there's the equipment.
Okay, yeah, I know that
Yeah,
site.
a reputable source for sure.
Yeah. We get a lot of our stuff from them, and Ghost Stop. We're an affiliate of Ghost Stop, so a lot of our stuff.
Bravo, that's fucking
we
cool as shit.
we have an obvious 5 that'll be here tomorrow.
Yeah,
No,
we
no,
that's
not
probably
Friday.
so
Friday.
exciting.
So
we
have to
actually
leave
bought
the
ours
rest up.
before Billy Chapel sold like
Mhm.
all of his inventions to Ghost Stop. We got ours from Billy Chapel. I was able to speak with that guy.
That's
Really?
so cool,
that's
dude.
yeah, that's incredible.
One of the smartest dudes you can ever talk to when it comes to paranormal.
That 100%.
I love that.
That's so cool. Yeah, we're super excited to use the Ovilus when we do get it. I'm not sure where it's gonna be first, but
Yeah, I was say we're
yeah.
still trying to figure out. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Poasttown.
bring
Yeah,
it with
he'll
me?
probably he'll have it with him for sure.
Yes,
sure.
sir.
I say, do you?
He might
trust
not
me?
know how to use it though.
Look, Trevor, we were talking about coming in the 20th and kind of investigating. We're what we're going to do is have an adult hide and go seek that night.
Yes.
Oh, that's his game.
Fuck yes.
He was-
I've been trying to do a location where we can do that because we had the idea at Asher where we were gonna do like
But
an
it was-
Estes method and we're gonna hide ducks in rooms and
We
we're gonna
waited
see
too
if the
long.
spirits tell us where to go find the ducks at.
We waited too
Yeah,
long.
we're going to do it and just kind of, see what happens. See if you hear anything, see anything.
Yep, come sprinting out like I can't fucking do this.
If I see Trevor running down the hallway, yeah, we're going to record you.
I'm
You
so good with
better.
that.
You better.
Oh, I'm so excited. Me and my wife have been talking about it for so long where it's like it's a vacation, but it's like part of my honeymoon now because it's like we've been trying to say like every time we go on investigations, we're just gonna make it an extended honeymoon of ours because we just had our 1 year last on Sunday. So
Aw,
nice.
congratulations.
Yeah.
thank you guys.
Yeah.
Yep, I said it was her birthday before that. Riley's birthday was this week and anniversary. It's like it's been a busy week.
Tomorrow.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, tomorrow is Riley's birthday, but we're celebrating it today because big man's got way too much going on in the next month.
I do. So this October's a busy month for me. Hunting season starts, and then
Family
Right.
vacations.
my brain around hunting season, it just goes blank. I just want to hunt. That's it.
So
Yeah.
where would you guys go if you were given the opportunity to go anywhere in the world, like just like an all exclusive paid location, you know, to just investigate wherever, like wherever you would want?
Yikes.
I mean, mine would be Alcatraz.
Oh,
good
I
one.
love that. I would love
Good
to do Alcatraz, especially like a full week investigation of it. That would be
Yeah.
so fun.
El
Alcatraz.
Capone. El Capone. That's who I would try to
Yeah, Al
talk to the
Capone
most.
was definitely there.
Yeah, that would be mine.
Jeez, I don't know. That's
I
a
was going to
hard
say that
question.
is really hard.
Because you got
We've had so many different answers too.
Oh,
It's like
Yeah.
If I
like
had,
nothing's
already-
too taboo either.
Chat already knows what's coming with this question. Too.
Yep.
That's funny.
Where it's like I always say Auschwitz would be
Here,
really
there it is.
interesting,
Oh,
which
my
it's
God.
only because it's like like if you go into it respectfully and like if the spirits are there and they want to be heard and it's like, you know, they've been crying out to be heard, you know, it's like, well, let's be the medium that they might need to, you know, like help them figure out what's going on now.
Right. That would be awesome.
I
Or
don't,
the,
yeah.
I
or the
could-
Coliseum.
That'd be heavy as fuck though.
I was just going to
So
say,
heavy.
I don't know if I could
handle that.
emotionally
I couldn't
handle
handle it.
that.
I couldn't. I can't even go into like a museum display for it. I get
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know I could do that.
Yeah. That would be too.
Ah,
Or Pompeii is another good one too, where it's like it was just like it's etched in history right when it was like when that volcano erupted, everybody was just flash, boom, there you are.
Right.
Now that
Another
would
one
be
of
that
mine
would
would
be
be
a
like
neat
the
one.
Coliseum in Rome.
Oh yes, there's so much history there.
Oh yeah, they say when you walk up,
Ooh, Dracula's castle.
I was just thinking.
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So you were.
Oh,
Yeah, and if you look into the dark history that surrounds it, like the actual factual
Right.
history, where it's like he was a fucking tyrant, like holy
Right.
shit, like
Right.
my man was impaling people.
Yeah, like
right?
insane.
Yeah.
we've been stuck on this topic lately. Do you think vampires were actually just
Like they're
Like,
real creatures
they're
that
actually
roam the
real.
earth, but they're slumbering right
Yeah.
now because like what the theory is that like humans are overpopulating the earth. And it's not like hard to see because there's billions of us. Well, if you look at like population control as a whole, everything has an apex predator. Well, who's to say that our apex predator just has been absent for the last 200,000 years or so, and that's why our population's gotten so out of control. So it's like, who's to say that if with all the thawing and whatnot in like Antarctica and, you know, like with all the changing of all everything in the world is like, if our predator comes back out, who's to say that it's not one of these crazy mythological creatures like vampires that's just gonna wreak havoc on like the human
Werewolves.
population? That's
Right.
where I'm like, cryptics might actually
'cause,
have
like,
more
there's
legitimacy than we
some-
think.
There's some really weird like vampire history out there. Like
Mhm.
I don't know exactly what city it is, but there's a city where there's a bunch of graves where they have like knives or nails through all of the people's like jaws and into their skull to keep their mouth shut in case they were a vampire and came out of their casket and tried to fight people.
And there's a lot of stories of weird things like that, like in New Orleans and stuff. Of
Yeah, New Orleans, yeah.
unexplained people having weird thing. Yeah. So that's why I'm kind of like open to the idea. I'm not completely closed.
Yeah, like I wouldn't like poo-poo the idea of like there's something in our blood like an enzyme that if like it might not even be like a human creature. It might honestly just be like some type of creature that we don't know about that actually roam the earth that like breaks it down in like into a substance that it like nourishes itself for a very long time. It's like we just don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe they're like mermaid vampires. Like fuck, I don't know. We don't know much about the oceans either.
And then you see these pictures of these famous people that look like exactly the same 100 years ago as they do
Yup.
now. And then I'm like,
Right.
It begs the question. Or like aliens too. Like the whole disclosure thing that's been going on, it's like I believe that a lot of the stuff we're seeing is definitely because it's like, no, we've definitely encountered aliens a lot more than we thought in the prior years, and that it's just all of the technology that's coming out. Merpire. I'm sorry, Merpires caught me off guard.
Merpire.
But
But
it's
you
like,
know what I mean? It's like,
come
who
out.
knows? Like,
ever since they come out and said that, we've made contacts with aliens, it's like, all right, cool, let's move on.
I
It's like
think,
everybody move.
no, I think people are just too scared to
I feel
accept it.
I think everyone just is like, yeah, we knew.
we already all knew that you guys were trying to pull the wool.
we already
Yeah,
knew. Of course.
I don't think like this generation of people that's on Earth is as gullible as previous generations. Like when you look back to like the 30s and 20s and like even before that, like the government literally would just pull wool over their eyes and everyone just
In the
conformed
past
to
10
it.
years, technology has went from being like very like bulky and like not the best at processing things to, oh, we have quantum computers and now like space travel and landing rockets with
The
computers is easy.
accessibility of technology, you know what I mean? Like
How the fuck does it go from that to that so quickly? Like if we look at like history as a whole, like yeah, like it might not have been back in like the Roman days, like they were progressing as fast as we are now, but who's to say that once we were accessing the tools to get into this technology that they already had because it's just been sitting, and it's like, well, we can't even fucking open it yet. Like once we figure out how to open it, then we can actually unlock it. And then when they did unlock it, and it's like now we have all of this crazy shit. Like cell phones are stupid.
I think
like,
cell phones are
computers.
directly related to the Roswell incident, like that material that like unfolded.
Oh,
itself.
the foil stuff.
I think they figured out how to use that in some type of way.
I don't know. We might be crazy. Who knows?
I am crazy, so I'll totally admit that.
I'll just a little nuts.
So where do you guys weigh in on the demon theory? Do you guys like it doesn't have to be like religious, where it's like I have like my own prevailing theories of like what what a god
Demon as
could
an
be.
entity.
I kind of
Yeah, like it's hard to say.
I watched a YouTube series that you guys had up, and you were talking about like different like spirits
Mhm.
being here, or being, people believing in heaven, people believing in hell.
Oh yeah, that was probably our demon's death and afterlife talk.
Probably.
I watched a bit of that, and I was like, damn, that makes sense. But like to me, it's rare. You know what I mean? Like if you
Yeah.
come across a demon, they've made movies about it, like
Mhm.
demonic activity. They've made movies about it, and all these people throw that word demon out there. It's like, come on, man, really? If you ran into a demonic spirit, we'd probably shit our pants.
Yeah. I feel like out of the 1 in 10 like encounters that the Vatican has like posted in their like logbooks, maybe one of them might be legitimate. And like who's to say that like demons aren't even religious? They're just like entities, like primordial beings that have just been here.
All right.
Right. I think there's an X amount of demons already in existence. And once they're excised from someone,
Yeah.
they go somewhere else. So that I feel like they just move around. But I think a lot of people just automatically, if anything's bad or malicious or ornery, they call it a demon.
Agreed.
And I think ghosts or spirits sometimes are just having fun because they're bored.
Get a bad rap.
And they're getting their kicks by scaring us or throwing something across the room or something.
Hmm.
And someone's going to say, oh, it's demonic. It's not.
I think it's thrown out and used way too
too
much
Right.
as an excuse
Yeah.
or whatnot. Yeah.
So how do you guys feel about scratches and things like that? Because Riley has a very interesting theory that might like actually flip the script on a lot of these demonologists.
Let Steve tell you about the situation that he had here with one of our investigators, as him being a skeptic. He actually watched this form.
Oh shit.
Well, I didn't watch it for him. I helped him pull up his shirt to look to see it. But
Like, all right, let's see the back knee.
So actually, I think it's on YouTube. Is it not on YouTube?
It's on our TikTok.
It's on our
was here
TikTok.
at Poasttown.
So we were here. We were having a investigation with, I think it was the cheerleader girls.
Yeah.
And Brian, who I'm talking about, he was shooting some video. We were in the mean teacher hallway.
Mhm.
and I'm standing in the hallway, and Brian pulls me into one of the classrooms, and he's got this scared look on his face. He says, Steve, he says, something's going on with my back. I need you to look. So he pulled his shirt, and then he pulls up his undershirt, and I'm telling you what, he had a scratch from in between his shoulder blades all the way down to his waist. And I looked at him, oh shit. And Brian turned around at me and looked at me with the scaredest look I think I've ever seen on his face. It was every bit of 10 inches long, easy.
And Brian's
wild.
There's
no way he
could've-
could have done it. And if he would have, we would have seen it.
He would have had to like jump onto a wall, you know?
Yeah, or something, right? Grabbing onto him to hold on.
Yeah. Riley's theory too is like extremely interesting.
Let's
Like,
hear
you
it.
know,
Want me to
I'm going
say?
with
All right. So my theory is that if spirits, like, I'll start here because sometimes I get ahead of myself when I'm trying to explain this theory.
gas pedal.
So as paranormal investigators, almost everything we use is using electric magnetic fields.
Correct.
So with that being said, my logic is that spirits must be some type of electrical energy. So if you think about electrical energy and like what it does to human skin, if we were to get electrocuted, it looks like a scratch mark or like a burn, which are kind of what everyone shows, like a rash-like looking thing, depending on, how much energy is transferred onto your skin is going to result in how bad the damage is, just like a burn from a fire or something like that. So my theory is that if spirit is electrical energy, if they touch you and they release a huge amount of electrical energy onto your skin,
And who knows if they know how to control that?
right? If they
Doubt
even
it.
know how to control it, they might not even just do it on accident. Like they're so content with like the moment,
Like, I can touch you, zap.
right? And it just leaves 3 scratches, but like it may not be malicious. It may be them just trying to show you that I am here. Like, believe me, everything I'm telling you is true.
Like
Yeah.
Sarah's like reaching up, like help, and it's just
Of
like,
course,
All right.
it's
Wow.
the intention behind the scratch, right? It's like,
Damn.
it's
Yeah,
like the
That-
like
they're
was
just-
it like Sarah from Great Lakes? Yeah, like the theory, or not the theory, but the point that she made was, like we're all looking at the same burning building, right? But we're all looking at different sides of it. So our perspectives are all different. So we might see something different from what that other side looks like in that time frame or whatnot. So it's like it adds that like layer of like, oh shit. Now I can't just say like it hurt me. Now it's like, oh, maybe something was just trying to get my attention, or I don't know.
so
Damn, yeah.
It's something to chew on, that's
yeah.
for sure. I've lost sleep over that. I'll leave that one there.
Yeah, I don't think every grab mark and every scratch is always meant to be bad. I think sometimes they're just trying to say, hey, I'm here.
Right.
But like a theory I got
Attention.
on shit like that is, if you were an asshole in life, you know what I mean? Are you going to be an asshole when you cross over? You know what I'm saying?
100%.
We
Yeah,
literally
that's the
say that
prevailing
all the
theory.
time.
I think we've
I
heard
love
this more than I've heard anything else in the
love-
paranormal field, and it's my favorite thing ever. Where it's like, yeah, like you are a creature of habit, and it's like I was saying it earlier, where it's like if you were a dick, you probably aren't just gonna like, I'm free,
Right.
hippie. Like, no, you're probably be like, well, what the fuck, dude? I have unfinished business.
What are you doing in my
Stop being a
house?
dick.
What are you doing in my house?
Like I think,
Literally.
I think of the old man from Monster House. Get off my lawn.
Oh yeah.
Kind of guy. You're going to be that kind of guy when you pass away.
Mhm.
You are.
100%. And it's like people are fucking assholes, and it's not like a dig on anybody in particular, but it's like I've ran into enough people in public where it's like, man, I must have caught you on a bad day. Like, Jesus.
Right.
Constantly, asshole.
So I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
How do you feel about, I don't know, you guys got to see the video of Denise, what she did at Beale Manor. What are your guys' thoughts on like, the witchcraft, that kind of thing?
Ooh, I'm here for it because I do believe that there's a lot of like manifestation things that are real. So like if you're putting that energy out into the world or in the ether, like it's gonna come back to you. So who's to say that if you're not doing some sort of like
Can't hear him. Did you hear
this
that?
like weird feeling It's Riley
Yeah,
had football.
I'm
playing
trying to
on
pull up
accident.
that clip right now, but TikTok wants to play.
Yeah, because it's like the clip is really fucking cool. But
Did you
you
guys
know what
get
I
the-
mean? It's like I feel like when you're doing these sorts of like rituals and whatnot, like you're inviting these things into the ether too, where it's like
We might
maybe
start playing a video again.
maybe
here in a
like
second.
bringing these ingredients together, like alchemy. Jesus God, Riley.
Sorry, I want to
You know,
show
it's,
this
like,
video
real.
because it's really cool.
Because like alchemy is a real thing too. So like who's to say that you can't use spiritual elements? And that's like maybe what they're tapping into. And it's just something that like I don't have enough research into to know. It's one of those fascinating things to me where I do believe it though. I really do think that those things, like some of them are hoopla, but some of these like accounts of people actually like trying to summon things and doing it in certain ways, like maybe that is really really fucking happening.
So what? Like she's done a couple red
Mhm.
and dude, every time I get emotional.
Right.
Like to be there to experience this, and even Saturday when that happened, I got emotional, and I don't know why. It's like watching that is powerful, like
Yeah.
powerful.
There we go. I got it.
Oh, cool.
That was so much work.
So, and that was a follow-up to our first visit to Beale. I did a scrying session in that same room.
Yeah.
And unbeknownst to me, I had morphed, but I didn't feel right afterwards for months. And a dear sister, another crone, had a dream within a dream that I was calling her and I needed her. Long story short, we figured out that the hag that she saw attached to me was the same hag that I morphed into during my
What the fuck? All right, we're gonna dive deeper into that because I did a scrying session at the Double J Ranch on our investigation, and that was wild. But let's play this clip because I haven't actually seen this
Well,
yet.
Denise, when you're done, can you kind of explain to everybody why you do what you do?
I had to send the hag back. I had to send the hag back. No. I think it's 80. ADD.
She said,
Ties are broken.
right there.
Right there.
It was like I could
Denise, when you're done,
I could even
You
feel
were on autopilot.
they were broken.
Dude,
but it was
that
gone.
moment when she says ties are broken, that gave me chills, and I still get chills every time I see it.
That's crazy.
That's
So
wild.
like,
I can't say I've ever seen like the actual.
is that like an
video.
out of body experience? Like when that's going on for you?
It actually is, and you can actually feel
The weight.
the weight. Like I knew she was
Mhm.
gone. I knew that I broke those ties. But I feel drained after something.
Yeah.
Like my legs were jelly. I really don't know how to explain it. It's like my energy was drained and I had to regroup and go outside and reground.
Yeah, you ran down the stairs.
Like,
I had to
you
make
fell
sure
down.
you
She fell
didn't
down the
fall,
stairs.
yeah.
She didn't
Oh
run.
Jesus.
Wow, you didn't even remember how. it
Yeah, no,
happened.
jelly
That's
legs are
wild.
real. Holy fuck.
That's how you know something crazy happened. If you can't even, recall the event like fully, and everyone else is telling you, no, this is how it happened. You're like, oh, I guess it did. Like,
The,
that's how you know something
At least
was
we had that
powerful.
video of your face, like morphing.
The first when the hag attached to me during my scrying session, I don't remember any of that. And the reason why I had to go back and send her back is they pulled me from the room during my scrying session.
Mr. Skeptic.
So I wasn't able to close circle or anything like that.
Oh shit! Yeah.
That night at all. I remember going outside and immediately stripping down to just my bare feet and grounding myself and
Oh yeah.
yeah, the initial night
That's
was
insane. So my experience was I had no idea what the fuck I was doing, and we were in the what was the place called?
Thoroughbred Hotel at Double J Ranch. and
Yeah,
Resort.
and apparently that they had this activity happen in this certain room there quite frequently. I don't know why the activity was in that room, but the whole place itself used to be an actual farm. So people would get hurt there, you know, so like it was literally a cowboy ranch. So I don't doubt that there's like some wild things that happened on the land that we don't know exact spots that things happened, but they said activity was happening here. So we got the wild idea to go in there, and then Riley was like, "We'll sit in front of the mirror, like let's try mirror scrying." And I was like, "All right, cool, like let's do this. I'm gonna do it."
Yeah, you were
So
all in.
yeah, I was like, I've never tried it. Like it sounds interesting. So I was staring into the mirror, and for like, what was it?
It
20?
said that this man's like a Joker's face.
Yeah,
like,
would appear.
That's
And it's
the
like,
legend.
I don't know. I'm gonna try it. Like I guess I'm gonna do it wrong is exactly how I did it because I didn't really go into it like I'm gonna open a portal. I was like I'm just gonna stare until something happens. Well, the whole time I was staring, my face started to like turn into like a black mist and like amorphic almost, and it was like I lost track of myself in it. And I guess while I was sitting there, the what is it? The ceiling fan just
He
started
really
to
can't
spin
talk
on
tonight.
its
Oh my
own.
goodness.
Not at all. Yeah, and it's like my buddy Alex that was with us. Well, he's part of the investigation crew, and he was laying on the bed, and we didn't have any of the fans on or anything, and it just started spinning on its own, and he was just like, "Fan spinning!" Like I don't know why. It's like and I'm still sitting there staring into it, and then finally I was just like, "All right, I have to like turn away." Like I got up, you know, walked away, and I
saying
felt so off the whole
Don't forget,
time
I was in
after
a
that.
different room under an Estes method.
Oh, that's
and,
right,
Like
yeah.
I was like responding to their questions too. So it's a
wow.
good video if you ever have a chance to check it out.
Yeah, it's before we figured out how to edit, but I mean, it's like it was one of those things where I'd never tried it, and then to hear somebody else that knows what they're doing have experiences like that, where it's like, oh, now it validates how I was experiencing it because it's like I didn't know if that was just like my brain being stupid or if that was like crazy shit.
No, that's
Yeah, that was
it's
insane.
definitely
it was
insane.
definitely crazy. I had to pull her out of it.
Because Steve, he come over, he was like, dude, you got to come over and see this. And we're live,
Mhm.
TikTok, and I'll walk over there, and he's like, look at her face in the camera. And he was like, I'm getting her out of here, man. I'm getting her out of here. As soon as we pull her out, the whole tripwire lights up to red. As soon as we
Oh my god.
yeah. And yeah, she left without closing. And once she told us that, it was like, damn, that makes sense. Makes a hell of a
Yeah,
lot of sense.
now it makes a lot more sense.
Mm-hmm.
I pulled her out because I got to live with her.
Do you guys ever mess around with Ouija boards or anything like that?
We
Well,
we normally like
Once.
we're not afraid of them, you know what I mean? Because we know how to close out.
I collect them, but
Yeah, like we have what we call our POV room at our house is decorated in Ouija boards.
I love that.
Yeah, so we played with one at the Davies house, which is a crazy location. I think a lot of the stuff there was,
Conjured.
because they mess around with
Yeah.
some crazy shit. But yeah, we did have a session there. They wanted us to.
Yeah.
Oh, the spirits were like asking for it, or
Oh,
no,
the people own
the
that.
people that own the
Okay,
house.
Bro, bring it. You got it. Bring it
I
out.
was like, I've never heard of spirits doing
They
that.
have
That's
that.
crazy.
Mirrors. They have mirrors facing each other. I mean, you name
Oh
it.
wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they have
They want it.
meetings there. Like, yeah, it's wild. So we did
So
it.
do you guys believe in the legitimacy of using Ouija boards and stuff like that then? Because like I've never actually personally used one. So like I've never actually been
Spotted
able to be a
ghost,
part
what's
of
up?
it.
Yes.
So we want to do it, especially Steve and I, just ourselves, because 100% I trust he's not going to move that.
Yeah. I
plan.
would say I put my money on the skeptic just being like, quit bullshitting me.
Yeah.
And I think he trusts me 100%. I'm not going to move that planchette.
Yeah.
But we did have the women do it at the Davies house, and that sucker moved, and they freaked.
It actually
I'm
flipped
just
over.
waiting for it to catch on fire.
And we have a view from up top. We actually hung the camera up on the ceiling fan,
Yeah.
and we could see if their fingers like press down on the
Yeah,
plant.
if you're pushing pressure, you can see the knuckles flex, you know, like it's actually like a science.
And none of their hands flexed. None of their hands, turned. None of their fingernails turned color. Like
Man.
dove into it.
See, I know how real they are because me and my sister grew up using one at a insanely haunted house.
The story his dad told us
I
was
won't
fucking
even
wild.
go near this house anymore. And this was when I was
Oh,
like a teenager.
Wow.
I won't even go near it anymore. That's how scared of this house I am.
Bye,
But, like
dweebs.
the Ouija board experiences I had there, we opened and let in something that we should not have. And like I've blocked him out ever since, but
Right.
like he could come back at any time. I just know he could.
Well, fuck, who knows? Maybe he did, and we
Yeah.
haven't fucking pinpointed
We've
it
actually
yet.
talked about that too, is that my childhood attachment is probably still here. And
And now he's like, look, there's fresh meat around.
Yeah. I mean, just waiting on the right time. Like I use the analogy. All of our equipment is like a lighthouse beacon to any kind of spirit. You know what I mean? It's not going to be with this location. It could be with who's in the building, who we're with.
Yep.
They're just
It could
all
be
of them are
anybody,
beacons.
anywhere.
And everybody says, well, they're scared of Ouija boards. Well, why aren't you scared of this REM pod or this tripwire? You're basically doing the same thing.
I've been saying that we're beacons, like us
We are.
personally. Like,
Like
if we're
dowsing rods,
pushing that into the world,
I think
we're gonna light
dowsing
it up.
rods literally prove that, like that we are
Yeah.
a beacon. Like they literally use our energy combined with the spiritual energy to like move. And
But do you believe 100% in dowsing rods?
No,
I don't either.
I don't know.
I
I
agree.
don't know.
I
Because-
think there's too much like
Too much manipulation.
Exactly.
With
exactly, yeah, like there's just too much in play. Like if you have like a little bit of a shaky hand, they might twist or turn a little bit. You know, I don't have stone hands, so
I can only say that
they
only
do work.
used them in one experience, and
do
it like was pretty mind blowing for me. So with
Yeah,
that
I'm
one
not
experience,
don't. I
put
just
my
It's too
No.
easy to
my
manipulate.
word on it, but
Yeah, it's way too easy to fake that stuff too, especially even REM pods. Like sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I believe indoor stuff with a lot of electrical equipment because you can literally take like a plasma ball or the ones that have the static and touch it and go, bing,
yeah,
and
we
like
did that
I have
live
the
on our
force.
stream.
Or even walkie talkies, another really easy
Yeah,
one. You click a
walkie-talkies.
walkie talkie and next to a REM pod, and the REM
Had a
pod will go off.
pod
Every
like
time.
that.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the only thing I've ever noticed that will set off a REM pod is a walkie-talkie.
Yeah, that's generally how I've noticed it too. Is like
I
it does take
noticed-
quite a bit.
If you put your phone on like
If you have a hotspot on,
hotspot,
yeah, or like
you can
you're
you
using
can literally
multiple
point your
cellular
phone
devices
at
like
the
it.
REM pod and make it go off
Mm.
Oh yeah.
like a magic wand. It's
So
pretty
like
crazy.
we do the whole like put your phone in airplane mode, like if you are going to use it for recording purposes, it's like as long as the cellular devices and everything aren't coming into
I'm
it,
good.
because who knows how like electricity plays into the whole scheme of like paranormal too, because who's to
Right.
say that all these nuclear power plants, all these generators, all these like transformer boxes on the side of the road, like all of this isn't actually acting as a deterrent for paranormal, where it's almost pushing it out, because who's to say that they're not both like high frequencies or high energy sources
And
that
they
are
just
like
bounce off each other.
Right.
Well, I do know if you set up your tripwire in certain spots, it will stay tripped. And then other spots, if you
Yep.
turn on a light, it'll trip it then too.
Yeah, we
Yep.
have.
So we found that out the hard way, or actually the easy
Yeah,
way.
because I mean, like, who knows exactly where all of the hot wires are going through buildings and whatnot? Because I'm not a contractor myself, but I mean, it's not too hard to deduct where it's like, okay, like if I'm getting a constant reading of like 0.3 here, there's probably a hot wire underneath the board or in the wall right here. But when
Right.
it starts to like ping really far, then I'm like, either there's a power surge going on through the like whatever consumers or energy provider is like having that happen, or it is a transient piece of like spirit coming through, which
You got to use
it's
the
very
deductive reasoning.
it's very hard to
It's like
deduce what it
they're-
is.
electrical stuff is it's just
I
tough.
like EVPs and like visual evidence are real key to me, where it's like if you're seeing stuff and then you're getting blips like
the
that,
cat ball
yeah,
has me on one right now. That's been my favorite lately because we've only had it go off like what
a few times,
a
and it was
handful of
one
times ever.
investigation.
As
No,
long as
two.
you have the cat ball on a
Poor
steady
house.
surface, right? It's
Yep.
not on a concrete floor where it can move around. We had one go off on the carpet, and that was the
Yeah.
one thought was
We had
valid.
one in dirt. Like we had
Yeah,
one that
in
was
dirt.
sitting in like
Yeah.
loose soil. So there's like, unless you like legitimately kicked it or like jumped an inch away from it, it wasn't going off.
Right. Those are the legitimate hits.
Yes.
Mhm.
Steve has to make sure our cat balls will not move. 100% will not move.
Right.
Yeah, I'd even do like a little blow test, like just to make sure that even like the slightest breeze, doesn't just push it.
Come on.
Oh, Trevor, you walked into that.
Yes,
I
you.
did. Because like some people might pass some gas sometimes, and you got that paranormal ectoplasm, it's pushing your cat balls around. Now you got a whole paranormal fuck up.
You got a method detector.
We catch ectoplasm quite often.
He did.
Like I know you guys probably do it on investigations quite frequently, but it's like when you guys have downtime, I'm sure you guys are joking around and just having
Oh,
fun. 'Cause
yeah.
that's
You
what
got
it is.
to,
Like
you got
you're
to.
entertaining yourselves for at least a couple hours out of every night.
We all know ghost hunting. It gets to a
Fun.
point where you're asking so many questions, you find yourself repeating the same ones, and you're like, all right, now we just sound crazy.
The amount of raunchy jokes we have to cut
Someone
out of
talk
our
about
videos are incredible.
Oh yeah, I mean, a lot of our followers on TikTok are in the chat,
Yeah,
and
shout out everyone in the chat right now.
Yeah, for real. MVPs. I almost said EVPs.
so they even see us like we'll do like jokes on each other, play around. Because if you don't make it fun,
What
you're
are you doing?
like you're gonna hate it. Like I shot. We were at Ashmore Estates, and we kind of it's a small area, very
Yeah.
active. Kind of got like hey, we need to take a break. We found an electric fly swatter, and I was shocked with it. It's
I
on.
see where this is going.
Yeah, I was shocking the hell out of her with it.
I love that. We do the same type of stuff too.
Sometimes it's the animals that make us enjoy the night.
Oh yeah,
the bats.
Oh,
The bats.
Oh my
my
god,
God.
we've had
Oh my
the
God.
last two places we went, we've been swooped by bats, and it is
Oh.
terrifying sometimes.
I hate
It's
'em.
some funny shit.
Yeah, we got it
Oh
on.
yeah, that happened out.
Yeah, and like for some reason, every time it happens, like I go on autopilot and I'm like, we're getting swooped, doody doop doop. Where it's like, what the fuck am I saying?
Not me, dude. I'm like, oh shit, where's that? Where's that?
Yeah. That time that me and Tracy were planning a joke and we caught the EVP.
Oh yeah, we were at a place up in Ohio, Gill House,
Yeah.
and Tracy and Jaime, one of our former investigators, Tracy, they were playing a prank, trying to play a prank on Brian and I at that time, and caught one of the craziest EVPs we've ever heard.
Oh man.
Yeah, and they didn't even know they caught it until we went over the evidence.
Isn't that the best though? Sometimes where it's like you might think you had a slow night, or like nothing might have happened, but then you go like, all right, let's watch it back, and like I'm not just gonna like scrap the whole idea of nothing, and then all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, did you just see that?
Yep.
When I go over video, that's what I hope for. All those hours sitting there watching the video. What am I going to see? Besides Jamie scratching herself in the video.
Got a camera was there.
Oh my god.
Who's itching their butt?
We have a bad habit of like singing to each other and stuff like that. So it's like we'll just get like real weird for a minute, and I'll be like, Amazing Grace. It's like, why? What does this even have to do with what we're doing?
It happens in our upcoming video, just so you know.
Yep.
Throwing a little Easter egg out there.
Steve's that guy. Like, if something happens or you hear noise, you got to find out where Steve's at.
Right.
He likes to roam. He likes to whistle. And we're like, shut the fuck
You can't
up.
keep him
No,
freaking still.
because
he will not stay in one spot.
I like to look at situations at different angles and different views.
Oh yeah.
If I hear something, I want to, what was that? So I walk over.
Oh no.
Oh no, we lost them. Hopefully they'll be back on pretty soon.
We do the same stuff though. Every time we go to locations and we have stuff happen, we literally walk away and we're like, we gotta find it. And then you constantly tell me, hey, shut the fuck up, dude. Like you were being loud.
Yeah. So I guess this is a good point to tell you guys a little bit about. Oh no.
I love it.
They'll
It's
probably just
fine.
plug it in.
Yeah, I would say whatever you guys need to do, we'll wait for you. We can even show some videos of some stuff coming up that we have. I got you.
All right. Yeah. So as you guys may know, because we've been hinting at it for quite a while is we have
Edit.
video coming up where we investigated a haunted farm. So we actually have a trailer ready for this video and a soft release date. So just to, maybe put into your calendars and
Bam.
going to be heading out onto the water in kayaks to a haunted abandoned farm.
Hello? Is there somebody out here?
That's all the stuff from behind you.
Kebble. Things will happen. For life after death, yes. Are you here with us? Are you really here with us right now? Yes. Can you make that device go off if you're here with us? And it goes off. Tell me how that's not proof.
So
So,
that is the video that we have coming up. 1 second, we've got to send them the link.
but I will tell you guys this. We did hype up the whole kayak part of it, but like, you guys don't understand how fucking hard it is to record in a kayak when we're going through what happened to be quite a bit of swamp and all of us are in different shape. So, that was really tough. And it was pitch blackness and flashlights only go so far. That's the best
Yeah,
part.
it was a lot harder to film in the dark on a kayak than originally anticipated in our minds.
Heck yeah. Also, the Van Buren County Poorhouse video from Tommy Tombstone's perspective is out today.
Tomorrow, you
It's
idiot.
tomorrow? I thought it's today.
No, tomorrow.
Well, today and tomorrow are the same day to
It's
me.
out tomorrow on Tommy's YouTube page. Make sure you go head there tomorrow. I believe it's at 8 p.m. is his premiere. So head out there tomorrow, jump in the chat, and honestly watch one of the craziest nights we've ever had. I think he probably won't provide all of them, but we have close to 40 EVPs.
Yeah, so my question is,
Poltergeist
y'all ever heard
activity.
ghost talk all night?
It's actually insane. We caught some disembodied footsteps that we literally can't explain.
Promote. And it's one of the coolest places that I think I've ever personally been able to be a part of inside, where it's like, there's so many exhibits in 48 fucking rooms of that place.
It's gonna be incredible.
That's all I go to.
If you don't know already,
Incredible.
Tommy makes incredible videos. And oh yeah, Randy's Real Paranormal, who's
Duh.
past guest and friend as well. Is
But
also
his
in that
video is
collab.
like 2 years out. That's the running joke.
There we
You
are.
got it. And they're back.
We are back.
Space.
Sorry, guys.
Wrong one.
No, it's totally understandable. We completely understand technical stuff is definitely fucking stupid.
Yep. And you're probably seeing just the screen, so you don't see the battery, dropping down.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's one of those like, oh shit.
Right.
Happens when it happens.
She had it plugged in, but with this old school and these old plugs, it's like shit. It wasn't working.
110 volts? I don't think so.
Just wanted everybody to see the banner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
You
sweet.
gotta see it.
We used to have a flag, but it
Our
got
flag
ruined.
is very much so washed out from the
it's-
sun and I think we spilled ink on it.
Yeah.
it's seen better days.
So Riley, we know you're not going to be able to join us on the 21st, but we want to collab with you guys at Poasttown one night and shoot a YouTube video. You guys
we're
up
so
for it?
down. We're so
yeah.
down. We're so down.
Yeah, for sure.
So down.
We were trying to manifest it. We were like, you know how bad like I want to do like an investigation where both of us get to go down there, because it's like it's gonna be an experience for me for sure, because it's like I don't get to go out of Michigan very often, and it's like to be able to meet fellow investigators like you guys, like yourselves exactly, and you guys are fucking awesome. It's like I can't wait to just give hugs and hang out and be like,
right.
like it's story time.
Like I
what's
know I'll
up?
be in Mexico, on vacation, enjoying myself, but at the same time, I'll be super jealous that I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's like all the people that we've met through the paranormal. Well, I wouldn't say all. I would say 80% of everybody is like real cool, open arms. You know what I mean? And then you got your 20% that are like, well, I've been on TV, so I'm gonna act like an asshole.
He was on Joe Rogan.
Technically,
in a funny way where it's like, I guess I technically was, but it was my skate. That was it. Because we also play hockey, so
Oh, nice.
You're all right.
yeah, I did like a viral video a few years ago where I
shooting a hockey puck into a man's nuts.
yeah, and Apparently, it's one of Joe Rogan's guilty pleasures to show friends. So
Yeah.
it's stuff like that though. It's like we're all in this community to like what we've been saying is to figure out, like what's after, life, and, like what's after this for us. And it's like we started the podcast with the notion of I don't care how famous we get or how big it is. Like it'd be cool to get money or generate revenue from this now, like, and then do it as a career path, which I feel like it is my calling, and I know you feel the same way. But if it doesn't happen, I'm not gonna boo-hoo it. Like the amount of friendships that I've been able to like nourish and like opportunities that have presented themselves from just networking in this community is like
it shows how
seriously humbling.
it shows how great the community actually is. Like we all like, care for each other to catch like good evidence and have awesome experiences. Like that's all I want from people, and I want
We're all
people to
searching for the same answers, really.
exactly. And nobody's right. Nobody knows the right
Right.
answers.
Right.
And then of course, Big Dog Adventures.
One of our
Danny
paranormal
himself.
papas, one of our very like close friends of the the podcast, he married me actually, and
Oh, wow,
he's
that's
been very influential in our like investigation styles and whatnot, and we've learned a lot from him. But he also hosts an event kind of like what you guys are doing at Poasttown on the 21st, where it's
Ghostorama.
called Ghostorama here in like our side of Michigan on the west side. So it's like if you guys ever want to come up this way and then do it, like I know for a fact that
I
we
believe
can
the
definitely
next
work
one
that out.
Oh yeah, we'd love to. We one of our good friends, Barry from Unfortunate Travels, he's like a brother to us. We do a lot of collabing with him. He's wanting to get us up there to go to Eloise. So yeah, we'd love to be able to do that. Come hang out with you guys. That would be awesome.
Heck yeah.
Right,
May
next
11th,
one.
Ghostorama at the Bell Mansion. So if you guys want to mark that on the calendar, we can definitely,
And we're getting ready to go to the Bell Mansion.
Yeah, we're going.
yeah, we can get that already, and it's like, shoot, I'll say, let's do this all over again, because it's going to be fun.
Yeah, we're actually going to Bell Mansion November 11th.
Maybe we're just
That's
here.
so cool.
Yeah, they were just here.
That is so interesting. Like it seems like a lot of these locations that you guys have like been able to go to and whatnot are like heavy hitters. Like do you guys pay for these events, or do you guys get, like graciously enough do they like, hey, like we'll work something out with you because you guys are doing this to like promote the place?
I would say 60% of them we've paid for.
Yep.
The other 40 have been free.
I love that.
Because we'll do swaps.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to get more into is like, hey, like we have a substantial like reach now, and it's like I would love nothing more than to be able to just like promote the history and like get more people's eyes on this place. And it's like even if you like say like 10% off, like cool, I'm fine with that. Like I'd rather actually the money going in the pocket to the place like to like restore it rather than it's like I want $1,000 for 4 hours.
Right.
I know for a fact that you're gouging the shit out of me right now.
Right. Exactly right.
Well, we're getting ready to pay $1,500 for Brushy Mountain.
Yeah. We're going to Brushy Mountain next year. We're doing, Waverly.
That's worth it there.
But Brushy Mountain is also massive.
Yeah.
Like the upkeep on that place is a lot. I can actually attest to that because we're in a 75,000 square foot warehouse where I work, and we had to put a roof on it, and I didn't realize how that costs. It's like,
Dude,
Jesus, man.
We're in a 36,000 square foot school, and putting a flat roof and tarring this roof is unbelievable.
Yeah, that's
my
the same
gosh,
with
that's
that's ours. We had a flat roof too, and it had to get tarred and everything because the whole thing was leaking. And then once it starts, it gets bad. And it's like if you don't want to lose the place completely, you have to do it.
You have to tar the whole thing. Yeah, that's what we're going through now. We started with 17 leaks. We're down to 4, but the 4 that we have they're getting pretty bad. So we're going to end up having to tar the whole thing.
Understandable. So how often do you guys have teams and stuff in there? Is it pretty much every weekend?
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Weekends.
Every Friday and Saturday. And
that's awesome.
Depending on the month, you'll have like October is pretty busy during the week. Everybody getting a Halloween thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a great time of year.
What do you say?
What's that?
It's a great time of year.
It is. It really is, though.
Our favorite
Fall
time.
just has that vibe.
Yeah, but we stay busy here.
I'd say about every weekend stays booked, and then we get a few weekdays during the month.
Now, do you do like a haunted house there at all?
No, so actually that's how Poasttown started out.
Was it
Okay.
really?
Daryl bought it. So it closed down the last year. The school was 99, 2000. It was abandoned for 6 years. You know, you had a lot of squatters and stuff. Daryl bought it in 2006. Well, when he bought it, he wanted to move in. Moved in, and he was like, well, let's try the haunted house thing. It's kind of creepy school. And the people that was working the haunted house was like, hey,
boy.
there's some shit going on in here.
You're like, hold up.
Yeah.
This isn't just fake.
So one of our, another couple that used to investigate with us, Brian and Tracy Hensley, really good friends of ours. They were one of the first groups in to kind of see what's going on and investigate.
Okay.
So, and that's
so cool.
That's because I know a lot of places like that's how they keep, a lot.
That's
of
how they
their
generate the
finances.
revenue.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like
Right.
do the haunted attraction, which I mean it makes total sense. That's what Eloise's first floor is, an entire haunted attraction now.
Which I get it. Like it's one of those things where like I at first was very like I took very adversely to that where I was like, oh, you guys are like unsanctifying this. But then from a financial standpoint, it really does make sense. Like
I mean,
that
that's
place
kinda
really
how
does need
same
it.
way you do, Trevor. Like I'm like, damn, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because
where it's like,
Waverly,
Hell House number 2.
yeah, Trans Allegheny, all of them do the haunted house thing.
Yeah, because it
like-
begs the question, like, are they being respectful to the place that's there? Are they being like, like very, because I know some people, like, when it's a job, they don't care. So, like, if you bang into a wall and, fuck something up, oh, well, whatever, it's already banged up. Then it's like, okay, now we're disrespecting the building.
Right.
And then some people might take very offensive to that, especially if you're a spirit that's like, no, this is like my place, dude. Like, don't fuck this up. No, I don't feel like showing myself to anybody.
Right.
Yeah, so like maybe it could hurt the paranormal.
Yeah, I always
Side of it.
wonder
Yeah,
because
maybe.
it's one of those things where it's like I don't know, like some people I know in some like prior jobs that I've had, where
I
was
just
like,
know if
"Fuck
I
this
was
place, I don't
in
care."
that position, I would probably end up like doing some type of haunted attraction thing. Like,
Yeah.
just it makes too much sense sometimes.
Or in the case of like Poasttown, where it's like you guys keep the lights on with doing like these overnights and whatnot, and it's like me and Riley have both discussed the idea of there's a beloved historical location and a landmark down here in Muskegon that's 5 minutes away from our houses, basically. That's called the LST, which it was a warship on D-Day, and it saw action and it delivered like goods and took wounded and prisoners back from like literally Omaha Beach. And they were talking about moving it out of Muskegon because it wasn't generating enough revenue from just general public access and whatnot. And me and Riley were like, well, it's literally full of memorabilia from World War II, and it was in the waters of D-Day.
people died on the ship, not killed. but,
Not
like,
not like KIA or anything from like catching fire, but like I would put my money on that, like prisoners of war or like wounded that died on that ship would still frequent it because like or like you see the echoes of it because people have investigated it. But
AKA Danny.
yeah, literally big dog right there has been on an investigation on there for like many years. But now that it switched hands through time and whoever is curating the museum now, it's very hard to get a hold of them. And they've said that they would like to do investigations, but we had the idea of becoming the residents there and then helping them generate revenue by just like, since they don't have like a crew on at night past 6 o'clock Friday night, you give us the keys, we're respectful, like you can trust us, you don't have to pay us, but
Right.
like you can collect the money. That would be the investigation. We'll lead them through there for the night and then we'll lock up when we're done. But we never got a chance to like proposition them because we just haven't been able to lock them down to talk to them. And it kind of sucks because it's like, I don't want to see that go.
No.
Right. And that's kind of why Daryl purchased Poasttown.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, look at the history. You know what I mean? Like it's there. And it's like all the pictures I've seen, all the videos, like the Haunted Archives boys. I'm pretty sure I saw them in chat a while ago.
Yeah, they were in chat. Yeah, they were here.
Yep, their video's coming out very soon too, and I am stoked to watch that one.
Same.
Yeah, because like my dad went here, Jamie's dad went here, Daryl went to school here.
Yeah.
And I mean
Generations.
Yeah.
It's like it's a staple in your guys' town, and it's like I hate to see monuments like that go.
Yeah.
Now, when we did our event last October, and at that time we did free tours during our event, so many people that went to school here and
Yeah.
or worked here came in with their own stories and their own memories.
Yeah.
And that was really
Yeah,
neat
it's
because
so
it
cool
gave
to
us
hear.
more stuff to use during investigation and more history of the building. And just to see them light up when they entered a room and, oh my gosh, I remember this teacher and
This was my locker.
this was my locker. And that was really neat to have those visitors.
It's walking down memory lane. It's so
Yeah.
beautiful. I love nostalgic feelings where it's like, wow, you know, like I didn't think that I would get to this point in my life, but it's like, whoa, you know, looking back on it, it's like we leave quite an imprint, you know, like in the places that we frequented and whatnot.
Yes, we do.
More than I think we even realized.
Yeah, I mean, like if relative theory prevails and that, you know, like we're all just like vibrating particles and atoms, you know, and like we're all gonna like eventually go back to that, you know, it's like the universe is everywhere all at once anytime. So it's like if that's what spirits are, then I'm gonna check out every single place that I used to live just to see if it's different now, or like anywhere that I've ever been. It's like, man, that just the thought of that sounds so intriguing.
Can you guys hear the train that's going by now?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Just
that-
quiet enough.
Oh, yeah. You can hear it when you're here. It's pretty crazy.
Shaking the windows.
Oh, yeah. It
Have you
rattles.
guys ever had like evidence of, say, you know, like the train, you know, like crash sounds, or you know, like of like
Nope.
phantom trains, or you know, sounds like that in, you know, like in any of the EVPs that you've caught there?
We get like EVPs, and we get actually the Ghost Brothers were here.
I love them, man.
Yeah,
I
shout
love
out to
them.
them.
We didn't get to meet them, but they were here. And one of the it wasn't a collision. One of the train wrecks in 1898 was an engineer and 6 crew members. Well, they said Paul the brakeman was the cause of this, and Ghost Brothers got that EVP was Paul the brakeman.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they did. I seen that.
That's so crazy. Because like when we went to the Old Lincoln County Jail, I was doing the Phasma box and I had the headphones on and they were asking questions at the other side of the cell block, and I was probably, you know, like 20 cells down. So I couldn't hear anything they were asking. But then out of nowhere, I didn't know it could even make sounds that weren't voices, and it was like a tugboat, like, and I was like, that was weird as shit. Oh well, I'm just gonna write that one off, like whatever. And then later I went and talked to one of the guides, and I was like, you know, I heard a tugboat. You know, I was like, I thought it was really weird. I didn't know it could do that. And it was just one of those like, huh, whatever. I'm gonna talk to him. Like, there's nothing going on, you know. And they were like, actually, there was a canal that ran next door to the prison, like back in the day. And then
They're like, there's a giant mural on the wall of it.
We
and
showed
didn't
up
even
in a
see it.
thunderstorm, so we didn't even look at anything. And yeah, and come to find out, there's
We
a
literally-
huge
yeah.
mural of like ice skating and like, and then it like goes
A
into like a
tugboat.
tugboat and all kinds of shit. And I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
what the fuck? I was like, dude, I had no idea. It's like
It's
stuff
actually
like
really
that
wild.
is like crazy. So especially having the train tracks right there, you know, it's like I always wonder if it's like, you know, like it's just phantom stuff like that where it's like maybe it's just slipping through, and it's like it's just that residual like time slip.
I mean, there are times where the train goes through and you'll notice our equipment spiking. It's not every time,
Yeah.
but I mean, it
Train
happens.
tracks are pretty interesting because if you bring an EMF detector up to them, they will go off because there's always like
A charge going
charge
through it.
going through them.
I mean,
Like,
we'll
they
try
have
that.
their
Man.
own-
They're directly behind the school. They use the second collision was 2 passenger cars, and they used this land that the school was built on as a makeshift triage center. So
That's insane.
people lost their lives on this land that we're sitting on.
So yeah, so the soil is literally charged with people's like
Yeah,
blood.
And
That's
then on
insane.
top of that, the train tracks are pushing more energy. And- Oh, that's see that.
Yeah, I've always believed that it's like, you know, like ley lines are basically the same thing as train tracks, because like if people are energy sources and that's what it is, like people are always traveling those train tracks, and that's
Yeah.
just energy sources just waving by.
I found that out because I investigated the old Wasilla, Alaska train depot. It's now like their Chamber of Commerce building. But I investigated it and I went to the train tracks to see if there was, you know, any activity by the train tracks. I imagined, you know, thousands and thousands of people jumped on and off these trains.
Didn't touch it. We're good.
Ernie just got touched.
I was gonna say, is that what I think?
Did something just happened that I think it was?
Like I thought Steve went put his fingers in my beard.
No, he definitely did not.
stroke
Yeah.
the beard.
I thought he was messing around with me like normally he does.
The best part too is like, what are kids about? You know, fucking with you. At least that's what my
Right.
4-year-old's all about, and she's in preschool right now. So it's like, yeah, what does she do? She goes, "You got a mustache." Yep, yeah, I do.
And what's crazy is we're in the room now, so we wasn't able to be in the doll room because we have a group out there tonight investigating.
Yeah.
We're in the room that Daryl got pulled out of his bed. Yeah, this was his bedroom. This is where, it's got his. I mean, we got pictures over here where his head's all busted open.
That's crazy.
And Daryl he's a big man.
Yeah,
and
that begs the question: how much
if
energy
anyone-
you have to do to yank?
If anyone's seen, like in 2020, Jack Osborne, the Ghost Brothers, they did a Skype with Daryl. They were supposed to come here, but with COVID, they wasn't able to make it. So they did a Skype with Daryl, and they talked about that situation. He's got it on video.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's on YouTube. If you look that up, it's a wild video, man. You see his big butt get jerked right out of the bed.
Yeah, and then you're like, I don't think he can physically make himself move like that.
No,
You know,
not,
like I don't think that's physic possible.
not at
Why don't you
all.
feel
Not,
the
not
opposite
him.
of your feet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, unless you literally have like the strongest like fucking fishing line and it's a ton of it, and you're just like, woo, and you're like Hulk. I don't know.
Watch the video, you'll be like, yeah, there's no way. Steve's gonna grab a picture of what happened to him. So this is, I don't know if you can. This
Oh
is
yeah,
what-
you can see it clean as day.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's got like good impressions too, where it's like he bonked himself.
yeah, and he's probably 5'8", almost 300 pounds.
Yeah,
That's a big guy.
I'll say that's like you get into trenches with that boy on a fucking defensive line, and it's like I don't know if I can beat you.
Yeah, right. So
Like
needless to say,
shit.
this is the break room now where, groups come and put their equipment up and stuff. So
Yeah, that's
funny to
crazy.
hear them to refer to it as the safe room,
yeah,
and it's not.
Funny, yeah, that's super funny that that's the safe.
safe room,
Right.
yeah.
I'll tell you where you're not safe.
So that's like we do the open nights and everybody's like, so where's the safe room? I'm like,
There isn't
there is
one.
not one.
That's so fucking cool.
They're
Though.
everywhere. And
They're everywhere and not. You got to find your pockets, friends.
Right.
Right.
Like
it's
we
funny,
have
a
the
lot of people-
prevailing theory too that bathrooms are not safe.
They always
But
ask,
you're just not.
yeah,
where's the
Man,
hot spots?
sitting there
Where's the hot spots?
taking a poop and one just appears in the mirror. Like, get out of here, man.
Yeah, I don't. Is there hot spots, or do you think it just happens wherever?
I don't know, man. Like we don't go to a location and ask where hot spots are.
No.
Spirit travels to where,
We
you know,
We
they-
go to
We
where
just
we're
get
drawn.
drawn to places, you
Yeah.
know.
just go to where we're.
Where it's like you
drawn.
might tell me that the bunch of crazy shit happened in X, Y, and Z part of the building, but then throughout the night, like I might just end up in that room, not realize it, and be like, dude, something feels weird. And then it's like, oh shit, okay, maybe something weird is happening.
yeah, unless you tell me like be here at 12:30 with this device, then I know you're full of shit. But other than that, it's like,
Exactly. Yeah.
Spirit's gonna
That
travel.
sounds like a setup.
So, have you guys had any like legitimate like I don't know, say like EVPs where if you say you ask about something that is completely like you're asking a question, say that are you like transient or are you here? Can you see me? Like questions like that. Have you had many responses where it seems like intelligent spirits will like completely like on the nail, you know, just like, oh shit, like I really think I'm talking to a person.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say we've had some good EVPs, but nothing to that extent. Now, when Jaime was doing Estes at Pine Lawn Manor, like what she was saying, and she had no idea Webb and I were. Her and Denise were way down the hallway. And what she was saying through the spirit box and what Steve and I were doing, it was one of the craziest things I've ever been
matched.
witness to and was involved in.
I love that.
Matched. It
She was telling us, walk down the hallway, turn left, go down that hallway, turn right, and like we were right there already doing everything that she was asking us to do.
She's just narrating what you guys are doing.
Yeah,
I
right.
actually
Plus, she
had
was like
something similar to
behind,
that.
like a couple minutes behind what we had already.
Yeah.
So it's like,
They turned
what
left.
the
They
hell?
yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
That,
And it's
that
like,
reminds me of the hot and cold game we
yeah, I was
played.
gonna say that's a lot, like a lot of similarities where when we do Estes methods like that, where it's like if like say we run into a child spirit, we try to like like play to that dynamic. And Riley was like, like let's play hot and cold. Like if I go over here, like am I hot or cold? And it would basically be like I'm over here, or it was like on the dot, like answering, how if a kid would want to play with
The
you, how you would
craziest part
expect
about
it
this
to.
story is our buddy Chase was under the Estes method, and he was the one directing us. And there was this giant oak tree in the cemetery we were investigating, and Nunica Cemetery to be exact.
Mm.
And was like, in my head, I was like, a little kid, that's who we assumed that we were talking to, he's gonna hide behind a giant tree.
Cause
That's like the perfect hiding spot
Right,
for a little kid, because you can just keep running around and I'll never catch you. And I like ran around the tree and I jumped out in front of him and said, I found you. And our friend Chase just goes laughing.
Oh wow.
Yep. And then the wild part was that same investigation, I felt like I had like some type of like energy attached to me, almost where it was like manipulating my mood, because I never like provoke and I'm never like just like vulgar with spirits or anything like that. And that night I was like, y'all are pussies. Like make something happen. And I was like, this just isn't not like me at all. And the funny thing was like the video got corrupted. It's never really happened to us. And then not only that, like same place, my wallet got stolen out of my pocket because I was like, yo, I'll leave something if you guys make the REM pod go off. The REM pod goes off. And I was like, all right, cool, let's pack it in. So it's like, man, that really begs the question. Like, the fuck happened?
Yeah, we've had some weird stuff happen.
Now we have got a pretty good EVP. Like we were in the dry goods room and we had a guy standing outside the doorway. And he said, what do I have in my hand? And we played the recording back and it said money.
That's crazy.
Probably one of the coolest
That was
EVPs
you.
we've had here. Yeah.
That was you outside the door holding the money, and Brian and us were inside.
Yeah.
I do that quite frequently when I
Otherwise,
flip it.
It said, what does Ernie have in his hand?
Right.
And the EVP said money.
That's wild as shit. Like, that's actually, I love that though, because it's like, unless somebody was like privy to this information or like is literally staring at you, like how is that just gonna come up and just like like a sweep through the radio, or
Right.
like just somebody says this, it's like under their breath, just quiet enough where you can hear it,
Yeah.
but it doesn't sound like
And,
you.
Like, I believe in EVPs because we have hardly ever caught any. So anytime I hear one, like the Poorhouse video that we have coming out with Tommy
It's
tomorrow,
wild.
we caught so many that like it actually blew my mind because we never catch them. And it was like almost every recording on multiple devices, we were catching the same thing, and it was different tones because of how far the spirit was away. It's just insane.
Yeah, we had 3 hours worth of like raw footage to go through, and like I'm anticipating that we're only able to cut out realistically like an hour and a half of it. And it's like that's because so much happened that night, and it's like, whoa, like how do you not make a skeptic a believer out of
And
nights
before
like
that,
that?
we've only caught, like I said, like a handful of EVPs.
One or two
like,
is pretty crazy, but like to have that many, like we said, like no joke, it seemed like 40, because it's like every room we would went in, it's somebody was talking to us.
But you're still going to have that person that says, oh, that was somebody behind the camera, or, what I mean?
The best part was we had 3 different investigators that all have channels. So we had 3 different angles pointing at everybody's faces. So it's like, explain that one.
Right.
And one of them was a female, and we didn't have a female. In the
Not a single girl. And it's
Actually,
like,
most of them.
I
were
can only
females.
get so high. My voice
Yeah.
only goes so high, guys.
And it's just like,
Before it just breaks and I can't talk at all.
yeah. And because like at the Ashwell house, we didn't catch any EVPs, and
Yeah,
we
not a
tried
single
for a
one.
solid like hour and a half.
Ooh, I have a good one. Have you guys ever done an investigation where it was either ungodly cold or blistering hot, to where it was almost like I can't even investigate because I'm either gonna freeze to death or have a heat stroke?
Absolutely. Yes, we have.
It's fucking brutal sometimes.
It is.
We did Waverly Hills in the middle of August.
Oh god, that was Asher for us.
That wasn't the worst.
That was the hottest. I think.
No.
That dry heat
that had
too.
no
Oh,
water.
Pinhurst.
Pinhurst.
Yeah, we did Pinhurst in July.
Yeah.
Oh god.
No running water.
110
water.
heat.
No air conditioning.
Yep.
Had portalets. It was miserable. But I remember Waverly because it was so hot and we were dodging bats all night long.
Oh god, yeah, dodging bats itself too is like, man, this is already fucking detrimental to my health.
And then our coldest, it was
Madison or Randolph.
before Steve and Denise come on, Madison Seminary in January, up by Lake Michigan. You know what I mean? Madison, Ohio.
Yep, that Lake Michigan fucking cold front too.
And then Steve and I done one at Octagon House up north, and we were fighting over one little heater. Yeah, and it kept tripping the breaker, so it was like, shit.
I melted my shoes at Eloise because it was so cold. I put them in the barrel heater with the propane tank on it, and I melted the piss out of them.
But like,
I can't feel my
So cold,
toes.
man.
we do have one room with heat.
And AC.
Yeah, and air, yeah.
So at least you can find like a spot.
You
know, to
have a
get yourself back to-
sanctuary.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do got the safe room. It's heated.
This room.
That's amazing. I love that. Man, so I definitely I want to revisit a little bit of locations. Like, have you guys ever heard of Poveglia Island?
No.
Yeah, that's in Italy, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's like the island
Oh.
of death.
Yeah.
They know it, they just don't know the name. It's
Right.
the island.
Yeah, where it's it's pretty synonymous now. Like, I think just because I don't know why my brain went back to this, but it's I think that would be my big location. I know Riley feels the same way, but it's how do you not think that you would catch so much activity on something that is so the whole soil itself there is just literally ashes of people.
Yeah, am I right
I
though?
can only imagine.
Falls are?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
off the
it-
coast of Italy somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's right off. It's right by Venice.
I don't even know if they let people there anymore.
No,
at
they
all.
don't.
I don't
You have
think
to get
I thought it
special
was illegal to even go there.
Oh,
Yeah, you
sure.
got to get special permission.
Yeah.
Chernobyl would be another
So,
really cool one.
AKA millions of followers, and then they'll let you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chernobyl,
Come out glowing green.
Indiana State Sanitarium reminds me of what I think Chernobyl would be.
Really?
Have
Really?
you guys ever been to Indiana State?
Mm-mm.
No.
So we
it's
were
on the list.
like the 5th group to ever investigate Indiana State after Destination.
No shit.
So it was still pretty raw. Like,
Yeah, where it's the popularity was gaining its traction still
Right.
before it was
But we
oh,
got
this is way
there before
oversaturated.
all the popularity now, and it was like there's toilet paper in the bathroom still, paper towels in the paper towel dispensers,
People
linen,
aren't putting their Sharpie names on the bathroom stall.
yeah, linens like in the linen closet was stacked full of washcloths and towels and robes.
That's crazy.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Oh, hey, we're back. We're back. We're good. It might have muted you guys. Oh no, you're good.
Yeah.
I heard something.
Yeah, people's like underwear were still in drawers, computers there with the hard drives ripped out of them. And then in the morgue, it was all of the files, like social security numbers,
No
what they were
shit.
diagnosed with, what their medications were. Yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah, and you know for a
That's a
fact
lot.
that probably I don't want to have to say that I'm gonna speak for the general masses, but people that don't take it as seriously as what we would or are as respectful are probably gonna look at it as souvenir. Where it's
Right.
check
Right.
this out. Whoa.
Yeah.
Where it's unless I'm giving somebody has given me special permission to take a piece of this with me, I'm still questioning if I should. But it's it is one of those things where it's it is a very, very humble move or a humbling move to be this place is you've made such an impact on me and in this place and this place has seemingly made such an impact on you, take this with you.
Oh, and it goes for urban explorers too. You have an urban explorer, they find this new forgotten about location. They post this awesome video on it. And then people dissect the video, find out where it is, go there, and the person returns a year later and it's
It's
fucking vandalized
destroyed.
and destroyed. And it's
Yep.
why the fuck do people do this? What did you accomplish by going there and ruining this
Mhm.
building that was left in pristine condition the way it was left?
Just the elements
let
were
it
doing
be
it.
like that. That's how time wanted it to be. Like, why do we gotta go in and fuck shit up? It makes no sense. And like people that go
Be
into graves
constructive.
and ruin people's tombstones and the statues that they had built to monument their life. Like, why the fuck do you go in and disrespect people and their accomplishments like that? Like, they lived either we don't know how their life was. It could have been grand and lavish, and it could have been miserable, and they fought
My
as
thing
hard
is
as they
people
could.
harbor so much hate
It's
for
like-
stuff that's like you didn't even live it. Like you
And
weren't there for it.
that kind of stuff just makes me so mad because I would never do that. So I just don't understand
Mhm.
how anyone could have that kind of mindset.
I know. That's the same thing too, where it's like when I feel like I'm like in a dark spot and my mind's like, like you need to find something to quench your time, or like make it better. It's like something constructive. Like it's as easy as just like getting your hands busy with something that's actually like worth doing
Right.
rather than just being a destructive asshole. Because you're right, like there's nothing good about going to like locations like these places that we want to like see like respected, especially like haunted attractions, like some like cemeteries in general. Like I don't know why anybody would think that that's cool, where it's like this is like if it's not like a resting place, it's a memorial site, and you're literally just shitting on people you don't know. Like what is that how you want to be remembered? I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Did they freeze?
They might have froze on us, people.
People are assholes and parasites, and that
They are.
breeds the other question, like the parasitic bugs now that can
They're loading back.
literally like infect those beetles and turn them into zombies and bring them to other colonies to die and
Cordyceps.
infect them. Cordyceps, that's what it is. Do you think cordyceps can mutate one day into like something larger, or there were a
Still
form
The
of
Last of
cordyceps?
Us.
Yes, exactly. Maybe there are a form of cordyceps that are like somewhere in the permafrost of Antarctica that are going to unleash, and then we're going to have like this crazy mutagen that just kills the population out and then turns people into the Last of Us zombies. Maybe. I want it. How do you think you would do? I know we haven't had that conversation in a while, but do you think you could actually survive a zombie apocalypse with given your current state of health, your knowledge on
So, like,
everything, and
this
survival?
moment, this exact moment, zombies are happening. It's a real thing. We're at the beginning of The Last of Us.
Patient
like,
Zero has
about to hit
happened
the
an hour
fan
ago.
within 12 hours.
Yes.
Okay. So shit's about to hit the fan in 12 hours. I am fully confident that I would fuck some zombie shit up and
Do you
live.
believe in your survival skills long term though?
I don't know how long I'm surviving because I can't
Really?
control the future, but
That's a
I
good
will
point.
at least surviving at least my first wave. Let's get it that.
I think that's where I'm at. I think
I have
I'll
enough ammunition
initially
right
survive
now
that.
to survive my first wave.
We're back. We're talking about zombies. Yeah, because I think I would initially survive that first wave of zombies myself for sure.
Based off my ammunition and how good
Bow
of a shot I
and
am
arrow
with
is
the
the way to
bow,
go.
I think I'm doing pretty well for a little bit.
I agree with that. Uh-oh.
Do we have audio? No.
You might have to click the audio thingy.
I can figure out how to do theirs. Yeah, you're gonna have to change the mic.
There's a mic
It's-
setting.
It says
Mic
that
check
your
1
mic
2.
isn't on for some reason.
He said, "Hold on, I'll fix it."
Yeah.
So, permafrost scares me. What is in it? Disease, huge bugs. That's the biggest question. Why is Antarctica such a secret? Why have scientists not come back with more information on what is underneath these thick layers of permafrost? Why is that not more of a hot topic in the science fields? Is my big question.
So we're saying that zombies are a total real possibility right now.
I don't think that anything's really off the table, because if this permafrost is miles thick like they say it is, and we start boring into it, like what are we gonna find down there? Like what realistically can we find? I
What's
wouldn't
more
put my money
believable,
off of a lot.
zombies or vampires?
See,
Chat,
I don't
let us
think
know, zombies or
I don't think either of them
vampires?
are very disprovable.
I don't know. I think zombies. Oh gosh, that is so hard.
Because
I want both to be real.
we've never actually seen real accounts of like zombies. We've seen people come back from the dead, or like be in states of like I guess you could call it limbo, but
Feeling
what are zombies
virus?
going to actually be? You know, is it going to be a virus? Is it going to be a bacteria? Is it going to be people like literally like dying and coming back? Is it just going to be people
There we go.
like sick? You know,
There
I
we
can
go.
hear you guys.
There we
Woo!
go. Yeah.
All right, we're back.
Do you guys think zombies are real? Do you think they can be real?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe if like they put like some kind of, I don't know, antibody in us or something. I don't know.
So have you heard about like we were just
The
talking
Last of
about it,
Us.
like not The Last of Us, but even like in a real setting, there is a like what do you call it? A fucking
Cordyceps?
a cordyceps. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the Last of Us theory.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. But like, there's a legit parasite that will infect a beetle, and it will infect it to the
It's
point
not
to
a
where
parasite, it's a mushroom.
it's a mushroom. Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
it's a spore.
Yeah.
So it'll take over its brain and rewire it to go back to the
Highest,
hive.
sunniest spot.
Yeah.
Highest, sunniest spot so that it can spread more spores.
Yep. So it'll literally take it and hijack its brain to make it work for itself. And the theory is, you know, like in Antarctica, like under the permafrost, what if there's like some type of like, you know, like mutagen down there that if it infects our DNA strands, that it will end up becoming some type of like mutated creature from what we are. It's a cool theory. I don't know if it's true or if it will
Yeah.
actually happen.
I
but, like,
watched The Last of Us. I thought it was pretty cool.
Dope show.
I
dope
think
game.
it actually holds a lot more credibility than people really like give it credit.
So
Legging.
Oh no.
The ghosts are messing with us on their side, I think.
Dude, I wouldn't even doubt it because we had so
what are your
long-
guys'
They got-
thoughts on like we're there? There we go.
Dude,
All right,
like,
we're back.
We're
on.
back now. We think the ghosts are messing with us here.
Yeah, the ghosts are literally
I don't
fucking
know what
weird.
it is. Like we were good for an hour.
Yeah, that's why I was like just saying. I was like, we were literally good for a while, and then it said,
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, can you hear me?
yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Okay. So I asked, what was your guys' thoughts on the Antarctica? Like what's under the ice and all the conspiracy theories about that?
Oh, I love it. So I think I'm gonna do an episode soon on there's another theory that came out recently of these giant like bipedal creatures that are large and they roam around in large storms and at night. And please and thank you. And there's been accounts of these scientists at these stations, like one in particular I think was the Murdaugh station, and like one of these guys' fathers, you know, had accounts of literally like parts of the Antarctic, you know, like tundra that they just would not frequent because they were like, you just don't go here unless you want to die, basically. And then, okay, why? A, and then two, why are they finding these like Volkswagen size footprints out there too, and that there's supposed to be evidence, you know, photographic evidence that his father captured, but he was signed to an NDA and then the government came in and took all that. Or the other theory is that we have this crazy energy weapon system in Antarctica, and that's why it's like we don't hear about it. Like they don't talk about it because it's like that's what caused those earthquakes in South America, is what they're saying when they tested it.
Damn.
I think there's a lot of weird stuff going on in Antarctica because over the history of Earth itself, Antarctica has been in many different positions around.
It's
the Earth.
literally
So like
a barren
there
tundra.
are tons of prehistoric fossil evidence that we don't know about because it's buried underneath ice.
Did they not pull that mammoth
So-
out of the ice in the Antarctic, and that's what they're going to clone that elephant and mammoth
It might
into?
even
I
be
think
from
that's
there.
where they pulled it
I
out
don't know.
of.
But I feel like there's, so much of Earth's history that we don't even know that is buried under that ice that we're eventually either going to find out or we have found out about and they're not telling us. Like I've heard of like
The ecosystem theory, where it's
Yeah.
like there's a full like biome down there of untouched
Underneath the
prehistoric
ice, there could be, like,
living
a
entities.
new Earth basically underneath the ice, or there could be like
The entrance to Hollow Earth.
something like that. Like I heard a theory that like there's a cave, it's covered by ice, but it's allowing enough sunlight through the ice or something to like shoot down into this cave and create some type of ecosystem down there that like has preserved even dinosaurs for millions and millions of years. Like it's so wild.
I'd like to believe it. I don't know if I like can put all of my marbles on it.
Yeah, the sunlight through the ice theory might be a little wild, but
But I think Hollow Earth theory might actually be correct. We really don't know what's beneath the mantle.
plants can't grow in total darkness. Though.
That's very true.
I guess you never know. I mean, there's species we haven't
Oh yeah, 100%.
Things we haven't, all over the world we haven't seen.
The ocean's a great example of that too. Every day they're finding new species of fish, jellyfish, like just like just microbiomes that are just completely new, where just tons of these like little amoebas that it's like, oh, we've never seen anything like this before. Or like the fish that are completely see-through and stuff, where you can see the entire organs. Or like the jellies that like they look like little stars that like almost like fleshlights, and it's like, this is a living thing. What the fuck is this? It's an alien. Octopi are alien. I don't care what anybody says. What kind of fucking living thing can change its shape, its color, and its texture? That's an alien.
And its entire body's covered in neurons.
Yeah.
Ernie's getting touched.
Ernie's getting touched, and it goes.
He keeps looking back at us like we're doing it.
We didn't.
I felt something blow.
Safe room.
did
I
not-
thought that was a safe room.
room.
You're safe.
There's nothing safe about that.
That's fucked up. No, I felt what I thought was Denise blowing on my neck.
Oh my goodness.
Chills, like it gave you chills.
It's popping off tonight.
Jeez,
That was crazy.
Investigators are in the wrong room.
Well, there's getting activity. I ran into them
Oh, did you?
earlier when I went to use the restroom, and oh yeah, they're getting activity that I've never even experienced down in the
Oh,
gym
really?
room. They were getting this loud squalling or squealing, like a high frequency pitch down in there.
There.
Wow.
Yep, in Amos's area. And then as soon as they said, all right, well, we're out of here, it stopped.
Interesting.
Excuse me?
That's
Dude, I
so
can't
fucking cool.
wait for you to come and check this place out.
Dude.
I've been literally dreaming every night about how it's gonna go, because it's like, oh my god, I can only imagine, how crazy it's gonna be.
Now you do have to realize there's gonna be probably 30 people here.
We've done worse. Like, not only did I help lead one of the investigation groups at Ghostorama at Eden Springs last year, and it was a blast. It's like it's one of my like guilty pleasures, where it's like I can just sit back and like enjoy other people like experiencing this, or like that are like really new to it, and be like, hey, just if you have any questions, come to me. I've done this quite a bit. Like, like I'm just gonna sit back and just watch. Or like if like somebody's like like new to it, it's like, let me walk into a room, and then it's like, if you want to like a line of questioning, it's like, let me start it off, and then you guys just run with it. Go have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's cool is we've got 14 new people that have never investigated.
That's amazing.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah.
Are we bringing the juniors with us?
Yeah, they'll be here.
Yeah.
So the juniors are going to be.
I don't know if you guys know, we got a junior team.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I actually have them on TikTok too, and it's like, I love that. Like the fact that it's like, like once we're
Paranormal's
out
for
of the
everyone that's
field, we're
willing
gonna
to
bring the
believe,
new, meat in.
Yeah. So
Dude, the ghosts are fucking winning
Dude,
hard.
this it's weird because we had great connection.
I
up until
swear,
this
now
minute.
that we're hearing that there's activity happening and Ernie's getting balloon on, it's like the connection's fucking up.
you there?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think literally the spirits are manipulating it. Where if there's activity happening, like we haven't had any connection issues. And if there's like paranormal waves happening, yeah, I would say interference would be pretty normal.
And Denise talking about that frequency that the group heard. Yeah, I mean, it makes
Yeah. Like, excuse me? Like coincidence? Maybe. I think
Right.
not.
Maybe not.
But yeah, two
That's
of
the
them
fun
are
part.
daughters, and one of them's my daughter, and then one of their
Mhm.
friends make up our junior team.
Isn't that so nice though, to like be able to share these experiences with your own flesh and blood? Because like my 4-year-old daughter is completely weird, and I love it. Like she's been talking about weird deers and things like that. What the fuck? He turned on the Spirit Talker app, which I don't know if you guys use it or not, but it literally says table, and we're sitting at a white table.
It also just said Lucifer, so
That's weird.
Getting ready to die.
20%. Yeah.
that's wild.
Yeah, I got about 20% left on my phone. We thought we was gonna be able to use the laptop, but obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we have been going for 2 hours, so we can wrap this up soon.
Yeah,
too.
we usually 2 hours is usually where we wrap it up most of the time.
But I'm
anyway.
having fun.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
we always
that's
like,
what we were
honestly,
saying.
we
Like,
could probably
class
talk
doesn't-
for 4
yeah.
more hours, and it wouldn't even seem like it. So I
Right.
know Trevor's super excited to meet you in person next month. And
Yeah, I'm a hugger. Just know that.
yeah, he
Oh,
definitely.
yeah, we are too.
Watch your nipple.
Yeah, right.
Watch your nipples around Steve.
I love that.
Oh my gosh, that's so great.
Yeah, man, we're looking forward to it. Riley, once you guys figure out a date, definitely get with us. We'd love for
We
you
will.
guys to come down here, the 6 of us,
We will.
investigate Poasttown and do a YouTube video out of it.
Absolutely.
Oh, 100%. We're so down. So down. We'll talk about it probably over the course of the next week or so. And by the time he comes down there to meet you guys, we'll have a date.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'll probably be crying because I'm like, I'm so happy. Like, this is so cool. It's so nice. Like, I can't believe they're so gracious. Like, I like once again though, like you guys are seriously some of the fucking coolest people, and I can't thank you enough for like extending that branch and like, it's so nice. You guys are the best.
Oh, no problem, man. We're looking forward to it, and we'll see you on the 20th.
Yes.
Absolutely.
If you're looking to find any of POV's content or check out what Poasttown Elementary is about, I got all the links down there in the description. So feel free to click on them. You know, donate to Poasttown Elementary too. You know, it goes a long way to keeping the building and
October
facilities running.
21st.
Yes.
Be there, be square at Poasttown Elementary. What time? You know, like what's all the deets all about?
It is 12 to 2 is our, here's one of the
The
flyers.
pamphlet.
Oh, perfect.
12 to 2 is the trunk or treat. We're doing games, free games, prizes and tours till 5 o'clock. We got Mr. Barbecue's food truck with a funnel cake truck, all the chicken wings and chicken tenders and burgers you can eat.
Vendors will be here selling.
30 plus vendors, and then the investigation, and we got a DJ, and the investigation
So
starts
incredible.
at 7 o'clock that night till the last one leaves.
Sold out. Investigation sold
And
out.
it's sold out.
I sold out quick.
Trevor, you and your
pretty
wife are the
awesome.
last 2,
That's incredible.
but that's on us.
Right.
So,
I love that.
yeah.
Hell
And
yeah.
you guys will be sleeping here that Friday night by yourselves. So
Oh,
remember that. Remember that.
Oh my god. Yeah. 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 No, I'm
Do
looking
not
forward
bring
to
a stuffed animal to sleep with.
Yeah.
That'll just attract more.
Right.
that's
Yeah, don't
hilarious. And
worry.
he can't call me to try to get himself
No.
unscared because I'm in a different country.
that. Literally.
He has my number, so he'll be able to get a hold of us.
Oh yeah.
That's hilarious. Well, with that being said, folks, remember to keep your ears and eyes open for what really goes.
Bump in the night.
Peace.
See you guys.
Bye.